Live. It is time for the hour of power with the Heroic Vibration podcast. On this week's episode, we're going to be talking about some people that have been MIA, missing in action. We're going to be bringing about this aftershock of this Wakanda and more. And if you have any special requests, hit us up on Twitter. What up with your YouTube and YouTube bust? It's your boy Triple Cup Chuck and I'm up. And you're tuning in to the Vibration Podcast where we talk about Marvel, DC, comic books, anime, video games, and more. Welcome to my humble abode. Let's go. First and foremost, I would like to introduce our special guest tonight. He go by the name of Leche. Let's go ahead and introduce yourself and let them know where they can find you at.
Hey, this is Nick Tice, also known as Leche as of 5 minutes ago, but really digging the nickname, really loving it. Very on brand for me, being as pasty white as I am. But yeah, I run the Unapologetic Geek Out podcast on iTunes, or the UGO podcast. You can just type that in and find us right there. And we run convention episodes of like geek conventions, interviews with other content creators, and yeah, some other really fun stuff there. So if you like this sort of thing, I think that would be kind of up your alley.
Cool. That's what's up. Next up, we got Savage Carter. Go ahead and introduce yourself and let them know where they can find you at.
What's up? This Savage Carter. Y'all can find me on Xbox at Savage Carter. Like all my emails and all that's down right now. But all you got to do is type my name in. You can find me on that Xbox.
Okay, that's what's up. Next up, I put this pause in between his name. Bloody motherfucking Knuckles. Go ahead and let them know what's out.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How's everyone doing out there, man? You know, it's always good to be back here with the crew. You know, you can catch me on Saturdays on my show at the Smash Podcast, where we do our own little take on your little geeky goodness over there. And of course, you can find me on Twitter at Bloody Knuckles. You know, just around.
Yep. That's what's up right there. That's that boy Bloody Knuckles. Next up, you know what I'm saying? We got another guru up in here. You know what I'm saying? I'd have hit her with this line too many times, so I'm just gonna say, go ahead and do your thing.
Yo, it's the Xbox Ghost Kaleidoscope. Back up on in here again on the Vibrations podcast, and basically holding it down in Monster Hunter World, basically taking people through a tour of the Jurassic Park that game is. And if y'all want to hit me up, y'all can hit me up on Twitter at DirectX-the, or at my YouTube channel Kaleidoscope, or on Xbox Live at Kaleidoscope. So let's do this though.
Yeah, I'm ready, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's coming in, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate everybody for being on the panel, you know what I'm saying? Everybody in the live chat, you know what I'm saying? I see you. You know what I'm saying? People that can be watching later on, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? We was talking about a little bit behind the scenes thing, you know what I'm saying? We had to go through one of the moments. That's why we was off key a little bit, because we had to go through one of the moments, and that's to make you say, And Savage Carter had asked a good question that came to maybe say, look, this got to be the first question people hear, and I want to know what y'all think about this here. Where in the world is Nick Fury? He's nowhere to be found. He haven't been seen in no Avengers movie. And I know it ain't just about the money, because you know what I'm saying, Marvel got the money. Now Nick Fury could have been in Wakanda. Where is Nick Fury? Is he, you know what I'm saying, gonna be in the next Civil War? Even though Samuel Jackson say he not gonna be in them, but you never know. He might have actually been in the background, you know what I'm saying, Easter egg stuff. But hey, matter of fact, I'm just gonna see what my panel got to say about where in the world is Nick Fury. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start it off with you, Kaleidoscope. Where you think Nick Fury could be located at?
Hey, I wish I knew, yo. When Savage raised up that question, I'm like, it made me think. And I was like, damn, when was the last time we saw Nick Fury? I was like, what, Winter Soldier? Really? Damn, that was how many years ago? I mean, it started tripping me out just knowing that he has not appeared in any of these movies, man, from what? Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which obviously we're not going to see him on that. Black Panther, Civil War. I mean, all these movies where he actually could have popped up and was not a part of. And
Right.
Hopefully he shows up in Civil War. I mean, I'm hoping he shows up in Civil War. If he doesn't show up, I mean, not in Civil War, in Infinity War, I'm hoping he shows up in that. If he doesn't show up in that, I don't know, man. I know he's showing up definitely in the Captain Marvel movie
Yeah,
and
we
in
know that for
Avengers
sure.
4. All
Yeah,
right,
but-
so we're gonna find out how he lost his eye in the Captain Marvel movie because supposedly he has 2 eyes for that movie. So, dude, I'm hoping we actually get a glimpse of him at least in Infinity War. You know what I'm saying? At least to whet everybody's appetites. Maybe at the tail end of the movie or something, or in the after credit sequence, right? See what
Right.
Nick Fury's been up to.
Hey, Kalad, you know what you made me just think of when
What?
you were saying like the last movie that he was in, and then I
Mhm.
thought about it. I said, matter of fact, you know, the last thing that actually Nick Fury was in was Agents of Shield, and if I mean a lot of people don't know like behind the scenes or behind the scenes that with Agents of Shield and this whole thing about with Coulson, they brought him back to life and all this stuff. Them Foggy them was not happy about this situation, and two people that was in the MCU that guest starred on the TV. I don't even know what you want to call it, but I guess the TV universe that's supposed to be a part of the MCU.
Call it
But,
onomatopoeia.
yeah, there we
They
go.
didn't show up again.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't show back up in the big movies ever again. Nick Fury
And
what's
Lady
the girl?
Sif, Lady
Yeah,
Sif
her.
from
There
the
we
Thor
go.
franchise.
But
They
but Kevin Feige wasn't the one who didn't want them to bring him back and accept the TV universe. That was Joss Whedon during that time.
okay, my bad.
Yeah,
Josh Whedon.
Joss
Yeah,
Whedon.
that's you right. That's who it was.
Because Feige wanted to bring Phil Coulson back. That's why he made the show when they were doing the TV shows and wanted Phil Coulson back alive and showed how he came back. Joss Whedon didn't want him to come back. That's why after Whedon left, that when he told them about that, he said when he came back that in his mind, Whedon doesn't exist in his universe. Whedon or Coulson never came back. Coulson's dead to Whedon.
Yeah, Joss was like,
yeah.
I killed that motherfucker for a reason. He's gonna stay dead.
Exactly.
Yeah, when I put them down, they stay down. Hey, now that's a reference from the Punisher. Hey, we got
I'm just saying,
hold on.
I didn't even understand Coulson living after getting staff and the Infinity Stone stabbed through him.
Well, they didn't even do the cool thing and make him an LMD. They did some weird science thing. Everyone was like, "You should be an LMD, like you should be a robot." But nope, they decided to pussy out and bring the real Coulson back.
Well, I mean, they brought him back, but they also explained the fact of how they did it because they showed that they were experimenting with,
Creed.
with Kree blood.
But isn't that the way they in the comic book they created the cyborg Nick Fury? That's how they ended up with two.
No.
Yeah,
That's not.
Hey, hold on before we go to this. Hey, say Kano. He hey, introduce yourself and let them know they can find you at because we started before they start diving too deep into this Nick Fury. But I'm diving too.
They've been doing more diving in than Trey Songz right now. I see what is going on here. You dig? So, all right, what's up? It's your boy, the real young Kano. You already know I'm the brutally honest gamer. You know what I'm saying? I'm back on here, and this time my voice will be heard tonight.
Yeah,
my voice will be heard tonight.
He said he with it. He said he ready for it. But
yeah.
Look at that. He's up and he's pumped this time, man. Last time he been out. This one he's ready to go in.
Yeah, I'm ready to go now.
Late night.
My voice will be heard tonight. Yeah. I'm coming with the dumb way. But anyways, you already know what it is with me. You already know. Check out YouTube, Kano's gaming section. Forget the dog in the background. You heard me. Don't worry about it. But anyways, Kano's gaming section. Y'all can hit me up on. Hit me on Twitter, Real Young Kano. Gamer Section Podcast back this Monday. Believe that. And we just gonna keep it gaming. We're gonna keep the comics going. We're gonna talk about this comic goodness. So back, let's get it.
With it. Now, hey, let's go ahead and continue back to I want to hear about the cyborg shit about the two Nick Furies. What you were saying, Savage?
All right. They created another Nick Fury when in the comic books they created a second Nick Fury when the first Nick Fury disappeared. A cyborg Nick Fury. Remember they had a black Nick Fury and a white Nick Fury. The white Nick Fury was a cyborg.
Wasn't that only in one universe though? Because I thought the actual
it was more than one universe. Like The Black Nick Fury didn't actually come into existence until the 90s. Before that, Nick Fury was white.
Yeah, but wasn't the Black Nick Fury also the white Nick Fury's son? Didn't they say that? Because that was in Earth 616, which was the one that we had known before the Secret Wars.
But the white Nick Fury was a robot. He wasn't a real person. It's an android.
Well, we know the robot one, but what Bloody's trying to list that is supposedly in like the 616 universe, they were saying that his dad was actually the white Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Black Nick Fury was saying that.
All right, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? So I won't get confused, man.
Because he's saying that Nick Fury was a robot, the white one. However, that's in some universes, but the one that we know that is the main universe that they use, which is Earth 616, he was Black Nick Fury's dad.
Hold on, what?
And they added Black Nick Fury much later because he originally came out in the Ultimates line of comic books, which was a separate pocket universe. It was the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a multiverse. That's where like Peter Parker had started from scratch. The X-Men all had black costumes.
Marvel switched over from the white Nick Fury from all of the rest of the universe. There is no more white Nick Fury in no universe. Is only black.
You got to remember that's what they took away. They fixed the continuity because of that. Because of the fact that's when they did the last Secret Wars.
I stopped collecting comics.
No.
Because
in the last Secret Wars, event, the one that just happened back in 2015, that led up into Battle World, which happened in 2016. That was where they took all their multiverse and crashed it into Battle World, where they had the contest of champions there, and after all that was done, the universes were finished and collided into one, which is now called Earth Prime, which is taking the place for Earth 616. That's where it is right now. So that's how Miles Morales and Peter Parker are there at the same time, as well as alongside Ben Reilly, why we have 3 Spider-Mans in one universe because of that.
So what you're saying is
you do
that
realize
the next
there's more
film...
than 3 Spider-Man in the universe.
Of course. Well, I mean, if you want to count, Silk, if you want to count Gwen, Spider-Gwen, if you want to count,
I'm talking about straight Peter Parkers.
Well,
there are
if you're
4 Peter Parkers in that universe now.
Well, if you're gonna go off the clones, which is Ben Reilly, then you also have Kane, then you have Peter
Spider-Man,
Parker.
The only clone is the Scarlet Spider. None of the rest of them are clones. The rest of them come from other dimensions.
No, Kane and Ben Reilly are clones of Peter Parker that were made by the Jackal.
Yeah, Kane's one of the new clones. Man, the clone storyline gets super confusing.
Yeah, but no, the clone storyline with Kane has been around for a while because the fact that Kane was killed by Kraven way back when Kraven buried Spider-Man alive and took over his place. That's when Kraven killed himself, and then his wife and daughter went and did that black ceremony where they needed the blood of Peter Parker to bring Kraven back. They killed and took Kane's blood, and then that's when Peter Parker donned the black spider suit again and actually went out and ripped off Mrs. Kraven's face because of the fact that he was mad that they killed Kane.
Yeah, so what I'm getting from this is that in the next Infinity War movie, there's definitely going to be a cyborg David Hasselhoff playing Nick Fury. Is that what I'm getting? Yes. Okay. I just want to make sure that's where we were all leading.
Okay. And when is this movie coming out specifically? Or, when is it coming out?
He's talking about the next Avengers movie that's supposed to come out in May
2020. Infinity War is this,
yeah.
I thought it was coming out in March.
No, I thought he was talking. Yeah, that's Infinity War. I thought he was saying that the white Nick Fury was going to appear in the Avengers 4.
Yeah, I think if anything, he might appear in Captain Marvel. That might be the his best bet for the introduce different Nick Fury instead of using Samuel Jackson. But I think they might just go back with Samuel Jackson because he's too known as the role right now.
Oh, of course.
But I'm saying at the same time, it don't really matter because it always ended up with 2 Nick Furies.
Yeah, they do.
It's always 2 Nick Furies.
I don't think they use colonizer Nick Fury in the MCU.
So it don't matter if it's Samuel Jackson, David Hasselhoff,
David Hasselhoff. Wow, you brought him up.
It don't matter. It don't matter if it's Hulk Hogan. It don't matter.
But hey, they not gonna do that in the MCU because man, two Nick Furies, man, you think people are average person brain could comprehend that?
All right. At the same time, is this what I'm still trying to get people to understand about these Marvel movies? These are Marvel movies. None of this is real. So, like, at the end of the day, you're supposed to have a good time, watch the movie. You don't like the movie, you don't like the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything what people complaining about is basically senseless because none of this is real life.
Well, let me put this,
Yeah, but people love to speculate, yo. I'm one of them.
Exactly. Yeah. People
No,
love
I'm
to
not talking
speculate,
about the
but
people
he-
who speculate like,
he brings
yeah,
a
maybe
good
this can
point.
happen, maybe that can happen. I'm talking about people that straight up complain.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
the
definitely,
complainers,
dude.
yeah.
And they come up with like the dumbest things, yo. It's like, what was your the name of your homeboy, Bloody? That he was like, oh, that when Thor in the Dark World, when he was fighting those guys at the
Man, you
end.
talking about
He's like,
lemon,
yeah,
sour,
no, I'm not sure if it was Lemon, but it was somebody. It
yeah,
might have been
Jack.
Super G. It might have been Super G.
Oh
Nah.
yeah.
That wasn't
We
that's
will.
what
Yeah,
we
he
need.
was telling me like, in
crazy.
Thor the Dark World, they're fighting at the end. How come Iron Man ain't go help him out? I was like,
Oh,
dude,
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
they in England, Great Britain? He's like, yeah. He's like, how long is a flight all the way to that other side of the world? He's like, oh, I was like, it's like 18 hours, right? 14 hours. So his suit, even if he sent his suit over there, how long would it wouldn't even get there in time?
Okay.
All right. And
You
plus, you think
said
about it, everybody
from
has their
Stark
own lives.
Tower.
Here's where
We
the
all know
Stark
each
Tower
other
to
on this
England?
panel. Most of us know each other.
hang on,
Are
Collider.
we in each other's lives like that? To find out, it's like, oh, yo, damn,
Yeah,
buddy, I
that's
know you
16
went,
to
you know,
20 hours.
somebody smashed your car.
You gotta think. You gotta think about this though.
That's a whole nother day.
How quick was it for Tony Stark to send off his automated suit to go save Peter Parker back in Homecoming when he knew something was up when he first
Yeah,
met the
but that
Vulture?
suit was already in New York.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then you have to
there.
take.
Yeah,
There's a
all that
difference.
happened
He
in
doesn't
New
have a
York,
suit
G.
in England.
Okay,
All that
You know what I'm
was
saying?
New
Just
York.
I could burst everybody's bubble, man. He has a whole headquarters up in New York, man. The Avengers Tower. That he owns that tower. So you know there's
Avengers
some suits
Tower
up in
and
there.
Stark Tower.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know I was going to have to do math when coming onto this podcast. This is bullshit. Okay, so
Yeah.
if Iron Man's
That's
suit
what
is
I'm
going
saying.
west at 300 miles an hour and Mjolnir is coming left or going east at 3,000, when did they? You know what? Fuck this.
And but that's the depth these movies got to get into these days, because you know what I'm saying, you dealing with some nerds, you dealing with some geeks, you dealing with people
Yeah,
that
but
love this shit.
that's like super geekdom though, man. Trust me, I love comic books just like everybody here, but we don't get down. Come on, man. It's like, that makes no
at
sense,
one
man.
point, you got to have common sense.
Exactly. Thank you, man. Thank you, Savage. You know what I'm saying? You got to have common sense, man. No, he has a headquarters up in New York. He has a base of operations in New York, a base of operations in LA. You know what I'm saying? But he doesn't have a base of operations in Great Britain.
Man, I'm gonna have to get Super G. Hey, I'm gonna have to get
Yeah,
Super G
yeah.
back in here so Super G can sit there and give y'all his real logical
They're gonna do a Star Trek teleporter and shit. It's like, beam us up, Scotty. Come on.
Only in Wakanda. But hey,
Yo, Wakanda forever, bro.
yeah. All right. Well, anybody else have anything to say about where in the world is Nick Fury?
No, he lost.
He probably high on crack right now.
What?
Wow.
Nick Fury got
That
some
was a low blow.
Hold up. I sat my phone down, came right back, and all I heard was I'm on crack right now.
Nah, he was referring to Nick Fury though, man.
Oh,
But he was
man,
just
I
trying to
was
make
kidding
a joke.
Hey. So hey, what y'all think about this here about Black Panther, an origin story, a solo movie in so many words, outsells in 4 days than the most iconic. Now I'm not no Marvel fanboy, no DC fanboy, but I just want to say Marvel got it with the movies, DC got it with the games and the anime and the comic books. I mean, not the comic, but then it's about one way right there. But
The shows they wasn't well with it.
yeah, but the video games, DC hands down. So that let you know I'm not a fanboy on that type of situation. But
you
numbers,
say video games DC got all the way. What about the new upcoming Spider-Man then?
I mean, I like Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I want that.
Yeah.
I always said I wanted to get that Spider-Man game. So
It looks dope. It looks dope.
yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
fucks with
this
that.
dude been bothering me for years about the damn Spider-Man game.
I still say Web of Shadows is the best
Looks
one.
good.
Web
Man.
of Shadows was dope, man. But the best one in my book is Ultimate Spider-Man on the OG
I
Xbox.
still
Fuck
got
yeah,
Web of
Ultimate
Yeah,
Shadows.
that's
right?
classic.
Ultimate Spider-Man was dope, man.
All the way.
I still got that Web of Shadows. I'm teaching my kid how to play that.
Yeah, Web of Shadows is cool, man. The combat engine was cool, but like the world itself, yo, I really liked the Ultimate Spider-Man. Especially it was the same art direction. Mark Bagley doing the character designs from the comic book itself,
Yeah.
and the storylines directly ripped from the comic book. I was like, wow, that was some dope shit. But the graphics in Web of Shadows were
I
better,
don't think
definitely, because this was more
I
cartoony.
don't think a gaming parent would be so more proud than they child. Like I wanna learn how to play the game.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bring it back to the movies though. I do like that Marvel gave DC a whole couple months with Justice League, gave them the whole Christmas season, and then came up and kicked them directly in the dick with Black Panther. Because that
Actually,
I
no, they
honestly
kicked,
think that was
they
a
kicked him
Disney
directly
thing.
in the dick 2 weeks later when Thor Ragnarok.
no, Thor Ragnarok
they
was
really
earlier.
did.
Actually,
Oh, it was earlier. Oh well,
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok still owned them.
yes, but it still kicked their ass too.
Yeah, they got whooped all around the board, but they had the biggest I mean, it's just crazy. They had
I cannot take nothing from the
That's
Justice
messed up
League
though. If
movie.
you think about it though, Thor Ragnarok kicked them.
I
in
cannot
the
take nothing from it. And
And Black
Ragnarok
Panther.
wasn't that good to me. I'd rather watch Justice League. Black Panther on another level.
Man,
I
you
didn't think
on
they
site
put
right
enough
now.
effort into that one though.
That's bullshit.
Look, man, all I know is that Black Panther beat Batman. That is amazing. Black Panther beat a film with Batman in it. That's I never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah.
Hey,
true
you
that.
saw the comic book?
Did Black Panther and Batman fight in the comics at any point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
They
missed
got a
it.
comic book. Batman versus Black Panther versus Batman.
Oh my god, I gotta go read this right now.
Yeah, that's one I want to see too. But that's one of what you call it, all storylines, huh? Where they
Yeah, this one from when they crossover
yeah.
stuff.
All right, but
see-
Carter,
the one-
I gotta just bring it up though, man. That's your opinion as far as Justice League, but the box office says different though. Thor Ragnarok bodied them.
But
Dude,
like I said,
anything bodied,
I know.
anything bodied Justice League though. Let's be honest.
I'm not one of those people who be with that box office and critics and all that. I'd rather judge a movie for myself.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's the way to do it.
it's all
That's the way to
good.
do it.
Yeah, it's too bad Korg is
Nah,
really
if I
mad at
like
you, though.
If I like it, you know what I'm saying? I can't. Nobody can tell me, "Hey, this movie shit." If it shit is good to me, I don't really, you know.
That's the thing about
So-
film. That's the thing about film. It's all subjective. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's
You
a
know,
good
'cause I mean,
thing.
I've seen Thor Ragnarok so many times, and I've seen Justice League like 3 times.
Yeah. But here's we can all admit that despite some of the flaws, that Justice League was an enjoyable movie. Like that, we held out on it on the Smash podcast, right?
I got off more
we
on
all-
the Easter eggs in Justice League than anything.
Yeah,
They had Easter eggs from more DC stuff, and they had Easter eggs from like Naruto.
But what I'm saying is that the movie, like, we all enjoyed it. Like, it did not deserve the 20 or 30, whatever the hell it was getting. Like, that was just too much. Like, to be honest.
Oh
that was too
yeah,
much.
the Rotten Tomatoes consensus.
Yeah, like there were so many people hating on the movie, but when you actually watch, like, I gave it like a solid like 7.5 because of the fact that it was enjoyable.
I gave
You
it a
could see-
7.9.
Yeah,
I remember when we
because you
did
could
this.
see where the opposing views were. It's like, oh, this obviously Whedon, oh, that's obviously Snyder, and there were small things, but for the most part, like the movie itself was a good movie. It wasn't great like you'd expect from the Justice League, but it was a good movie.
Well, I know
that's
what's
how-
wrong,
Really, I
though,
didn't expect
that-
it to be great from the Justice League from Batman and Superman. That's
yeah.
why it basically it passed my expectation.
Yeah.
Batman versus Superman was trash.
Yep.
The
I don't know,
first
though.
10 minutes was hot though. The first 10 minutes was hot. And
All right, 10 minutes out of a couple hour and something.
But hey,
Yeah, like,
the
3
extended
hours.
version was okay. I like the extended version where they
Yeah,
showed Superman side.
Yeah, a lot of people said that the extended version helped to kind of fill in some of the gaps that were left in the theatrical, and it helped to kind of improve on it. But the movie overall was still hot trash. But it helped it out to fill in those gaps that a lot of people just like. How the hell did they go from there to here?
Yeah, I'm gonna be the black sheep, yo. I love Batman v Superman. Know what I'm saying? From the music to the performances,
Oh, dude,
everything about the movie.
I like
just blew
No,
my
Wonder
see,
mind.
Woman
Ben,
in
Ben
there.
Affleck. That was Ben Affleck in BVS was a great Batman. I fucking loved it, especially when they showed like the alternate universe, like when you know Dark
Yeah, that
Side
dark
and
side type
yeah,
universe. Yeah, with the parademons. Yup.
yeah, and you see him like going like full on like badass, like not afraid to use a gun, like actually taking everyone down, only to
Mhm.
get nuked by Superman. I was like, yo, this is actually badass. But like when they put like the way that they did him in Justice League, I
Felt
was
like
like,
Injustice, yo. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. It felt like the
Yeah.
Injustice video games.
exactly. But when they did Justice League, like he was so timid, he wasn't charismatic, he was like all nervous. I'm like, yo, what kind of transition is this?
I know, right?
Yo,
Like-
dude, we all have powers. Why are you even here?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like they made him so powerless. It's like, bro, are you kidding me? He literally had like 1,000 like kryptonite weapons and a massive suit to kick Superman's ass, and yet he's afraid of one parademon and fucking Steppenwolf. Like, no. I was like, he even helped fight on Doomsday. Like, come on.
Yup.
Well, they can
Yeah,
smell fear. That's what you got to understand. That's what he was so worried about. Whatever the
He's
hell.
never afraid.
I mean,
I'd rather
One of the
make
what's the
an
sad thing
Injustice
though
movie.
is that DC has the most iconic characters in existence.
That's
they
true.
failed.
Batman
Yeah.
to Superman, Wonder
Flash.
Woman, Flash,
Green
Aquaman. Those are
Lantern,
iconic. Everybody
Yeah.
knows who those heroes are. And yet
Facts.
they couldn't contend with Black Panther.
Hell to the
You know
no.
what I'm saying?
Because-
Which
it's
was
because of
a C-list character to a certain degree and ended up jumping to the A-list with this movie.
Yeah, and that's because of the fact that Warner
Nah,
Brothers,
Black
Warner
Panther
Brothers,
wasn't. I couldn't say Black Panther was a C-list
he
character.
was more B-list.
Black Panther been with the Avengers since the years.
Well, yes and no. He's affiliated with the Avengers, but he's never actively been with them. Sometimes he's been more involved with the Illuminati with
No,
Tony
I'm
Stark.
talking about before they even made a Illuminati. Black Panther was one of the Avengers.
Yeah, he was one of the Avengers. He's
yeah.
right.
But I was saying, but he did a small stint
Dang, with
because
the
after a
Illuminati.
while,
He would do
Dude,
small
he beat
stints.
Thanos by
Against-
himself. All the rest, when all the rest of them got their ass kicked.
yeah. But I would still say that he was a B-list. He was an important character, but he never was.
He
He
never
wasn't,
had that
he
shine.
wasn't in the A-list status. Know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
he ain't had that
wasn't-
shine.
Because A-list from Marvel, they only had like 2 or 3 of them. Hulk, Spider-Man, anybody else? Fantastic Four. X-Men.
Captain
Those
America.
are the A-listers. Everybody else was B-list.
But see, most
all right?
people
It's
didn't-
just with the
most people
MCU,
didn't know
they
Captain
made a
Marvel.
B-list like
Nah,
Iron
somebody
Man
just said
become an A-list.
C-list.
Yeah,
I said
C-list.
C-list as far as
Yeah,
Black
he-
Panther. Because Black Panther's comics wasn't even selling like Captain America or even
I mean, but you
Iron
got to
Man.
think about
That's
it. When
why
Black
he's a
Panther
C-lister.
comic, when they was really putting Black Panther comics out, they weren't buying. Nobody was actually buying comic books with black stars in them.
I know what you're saying, but think about the history. If we was to add up all the issues of Black Panther, if we was to add up every issue that's ever printed of Black Panther, it wouldn't even hit 200. Now, how many issues is there of Iron Man, Captain America? You know what I'm saying?
That's
Those
what
are
I'm saying.
B-listers. If
All
they're
right, this is what-
B-listers, Black Panther's a C-lister, bro.
This is what I'm saying. At that point in time of American history, who would actually go out and buy a Black Panther comic book? At that point, they were advertising to all kids that you want to grow up to be like Superman, Iron Man, Captain America, and Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah,
So
but he
why
also
would a
came.
kid? No, just listen. Why would a kid that's been advertised, the only thing they ever see is Superman, Batman, and the people I just named, why would they go out and buy a Black Panther comic book? Why?
Because it represents them and their culture.
Yeah, but at that point, that culture in America was wrong. That's the way they put it out there. This culture is wrong. This is the right culture to follow. Now, in this day and age, people can choose for themselves.
Yeah.
But you also got to think too is that when Black Panther first came out in the 60s, yeah, obviously that's how it was. But he also got another resurgence in the 70s because that's also when you saw
Dude,
the birth.
it didn't change. This is what I'm telling you.
But I'm
It didn't
saying
change
that-
in the 60s. It didn't change in the 70s.
This
It
is
didn't
the
change
debate
in the
right here.
80s.
This is the
Yo,
debate.
And in
Savage,
the
I know
90s,
what you're trying
and
to
in the
get at.
90s, they redid Black Panther, but nobody was buying Marvel comics at all.
Yeah, they redid Black Panther with Reginald Hudlin, the guy
Right.
that used to write the House
But
Party.
nobody was who was buying they did this big
And that's when
surge
they
in Marvel.
introduced Aurora, right? Aurora.
Yeah,
Monroe,
right. They
Storm,
did
Essence
all
White.
of those
Aurora.
people. No, you talking about
Yeah,
Aurora?
that's when they Yeah,
The girl that
Yeah.
had ice and
Storm,
fire
Storm,
powers.
Storm.
Oh, yeah, all right. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Like,
Storm ended up becoming his
the
queen.
only
I
reason
remember the
why
cover. The cover was
they got
badass.
the only reason why she got that recognition is because she was a part of the X-Men team led
Mhm.
by Charles Xavier, and most people wanted to see
And they came out with a
Wolverine,
Black Panther animated series on BET too.
and it was shit.
I'd never seen it, bro. I
I ain't
never
never
seen
heard
it.
I
of it.
saw it a lot. It was shit. It's like they put no effort into it.
Yeah. But
It's
the
like
way I
mean,
broke it
nobody.
down for
If
you,
you
what I'm
don't,
saying, in order to explain why he's a C-lister, is by the print runs. That's what makes him a C-lister. He doesn't
I
have as many
understand
issues
it,
on the
but the
market.
reason why they
Underappreciated.
ran it
But
like
he's
that,
A-list
it
right
was,
now, though, regardless. He's an
you
A-lister,
know what I'm
bro.
saying? It's just the fact that they ran it like that because nobody was gonna buy a black superhero. Think about it. He wasn't the only one at that point in time. How
Yeah.
many other black superheroes comic books sold? None.
Dude, I like the new run by Ta-Nehisi Coates. That
Right.
is a
And
lot of the stuff that
now
got
they're starting to
introduced into the
giving
movie.
recognition to different types of characters.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
I wonder
Yeah,
if they're
not
gonna do
to-
one on Hulk. I mean, another one on Hulk though. They ain't did one like a solo on Hulk in a long time.
I don't think they're gonna make one, dude.
No,
Yeah.
They were saying that before. Like, it's really hard to make a Hulk solo movie because it's the Hulk. Who we gonna fight?
well, then there's a rights issue with New Line has the
Universal.
rights to a solo.
Universal, yeah.
Universal.
Or
Universal.
Universal does, that's right. And yeah, they have the rights to a solo, anything solo Hulk. So all they can do is team ups with the Hulk right now with Marvel. So like that's why Thor Ragnarok is like half a Hulk movie. Like it's half Planet Hulk.
Yeah,
And that's
half
what cool
Planet
about
Hulk.
it. James.
And that's why that's why Hulk has a 3-movie trilogy to tell a story that started with Ragnarok. It's gonna go into Infinity War and then the 4th Avengers movie.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. What I gotta ask
Now-
everybody on the panel though is how is it that Black Panther, right, which used to be a C-lister, but now became an A-lister because of this new movie. How does Black Panther take out the entire Justice League? These guys are iconic, yo. These are guys from the golden era, yo. Superman was the
Okay.
first
I'll tell you
superhero.
what, it's that bad word of mouth that people
Yeah.
All
are.
right, I'm gonna put it like this.
Well, it's not just that. I
Black
would say-
Panther could take out the Justice League the same way Batman figured out how to take. I mean, Black Panther could take out the Avengers the same way Batman figured out how to take out the Justice League.
I think
But
he
I'm
means
talking
using his
movie
brain.
wise,
box
though. I'm
office.
talking movie wise.
I'm saying
How
though, all
does
he got
the
to use
Black
his
Panther
brain and
movie
learn
take
all their
out Justice
weaknesses.
League?
No,
All
you
he
talking
gotta
about
do
as in like how
Use
they,
his brain and use their weaknesses against them.
No, man, he talking about on the level of
You're
Let them
talking
actually
comic
fight
books.
me.
I'm not talking about them actually being in comic books. I'm talking about the Black Panther movie. How does it make more bank opening weekend than Justice League did in an entire domestic run? Seeing that they have such iconic characters in their lineup.
Well,
You know,
I
what
can't
is it?
remember
Is it a better film? Is it because you can't relate to the characters? What is it?
It's one, it's because it's a better film and it's getting repeat business. Two is because Black Panther had the most hype of hype trains before it even came out. Like people were jazzed to see this movie. Like people had bought and theaters were sold out like 6 months in advance to go see this movie. And meanwhile, Justice League was coming off the tail end of a couple really mediocre films, and we're like, man, people were like, I'm kind of tired of the DC films, while we were reinvigorated with the Marvel Cinematic Universe because Black Panther looked so different and Justice League looked like a ripoff of the Avengers. So it was just a different cultural mindset that did not work for Justice League and worked very much in the favor of Black Panther.
Okay.
I think also it's because of the way it was written out. Because they do Ryan, forgot his name. He the one that did the Creed.
Ryan
and
Coogler.
yeah, one that did the station and all that. He took part of writing the story. So the way they did it, they put like different messages into the movie compared to the other Marvel and DC movies.
Yeah, I agree with that.
and you got stuff like Black Panther sold itself as well on the Captain America, on the last Captain America movie. I mean, he
actually stole the show.
Yeah, he stole the show. Then you had Spider-Man. These two characters, they built foundation for themselves. So that was them promoting for their own personal movie. So when people seen them in the last I'm about to say Iron Man, you might well say it was an Iron Man movie. Last Captain America movie.
The last Avengers movie.
Yeah, pretty much. When you see them on, when you see them on now, you know what I'm saying? They had people they watch this and say, okay, Black Panther gonna be good. I'm hyped. I'm excited for who he is. Word of mouth get the spread. That's the #1 promotion, that word of mouth. And with the Batman and Superman, when I was looking at Batman, Superman, they good. They've been, you know what I'm saying, played. Everybody know who they is. It ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing refreshing, but they iconic. But they not selling themselves to say, hey, we are good movies right now too. And people that got burnt and they people down talking them. So word of mouth kind of slowed their momentum down. I mean, that's their own fault, but that's what happened. And then after that, you gotta look at all the hype from Black Panther all around the world is curious about all black cast, all black, not all black, but 90% black and black writers, black, you know, all this Black History Month,
black writers, black director, the producer, like
it was genius.
It's never been done before.
Yeah, that was genius. On marketing rise, that was genius because it haven't been done before. And then you drop it in February. You ain't missed on no front of the marketing. The way you put this together, you cross every T and dot every I. Of course, it's gonna be extra successful. With the Batman and Superman, they was like, a superhero movie, cash grab. That's how people felt. That's why it did what it did.
If you look at the storytelling portion, though, it makes other comic book characters, other stories need to be told. And that movie right there, it's got to make the other movies, the other characters step their game up when it comes to writing stories for each of the Marvel and DC characters. After
true that.
Yeah, what you also got to think is that there was no build-up for BVS because we had one Superman movie like what 5-6 years prior, and then they suddenly come out with, hey, we're gonna have a Batman and Superman crossover movie. Okay, well, where was Batman all this time? Like there was no build-up to it. Whereas we saw Black Panther in Civil War, we got to see how T'Challa was, and then really got to see him shine in his own solo movie. We had the build-up for him as a character.
Yeah. What you're saying is right, but at the same time, for Batman, he's one of those people that stay in the shadows until he need to be seen.
Yeah, they made it a success because you didn't want to be the only one out of your friend group that didn't see Black Panther. Like, well, everyone's gonna go see it. Like, you want to be part of the cool crowd, right? But, you know, being
well, I mean. But I mean, you also got to think is that there's been plenty of Batman movies. There's never been an issue with it before. We've seen the Michael Keaton Batman films. We've seen the Pierce. You know, of course, if you want to go old school with the old Adam West TV show, and then of course everything else with Pierce Brosnan, what he did his little stint as, or not Pierce Brosnan, George Clooney. Sorry, Englishman.
Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, sorry. Look, I was thinking Englishman, so I just went with the first one that came to my mind. But yeah, you got to think. But if you look at
you should have think about James Bond first.
but look, what I was saying is that we've seen Batman in plenty of movies by himself, whether they were good or bad, because those were cheesy '90s movies. But you know, we still seen them. We saw, you know, Superman, all the old school. Then we saw, you know, the Superman Returns film, and then they went back and redid it with Man of Steel. Why was there still no Batman movie to really rebuild it and revamp a new age Batman besides, you know, having the Dark Knight series?
Nobody really answered the question I asked, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Leche. I'm going to call you Leche because that's the only thing I'm remembering right now, Nick. There you go. But the reason Nick actually pointed out some things, which I thought was on point, the reason I think that a Marvel character actually, or Marvel characters, not just Black Panther, but Marvel characters in general in the MCU, is outselling DC's characters is because they're more relatable. All right. I mean, who are these characters? You know, you could sympathize with Luke, with Peter Parker and all the stuff he goes through. Tony Stark, you know what I'm saying? T'Challa, he's the king of Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? All these characters, they got lives. What life does Batman have?
Well, you know,
what life does Clark Kent have besides being with Lois?
Well, you know,
how was Wonder Woman until that first movie came out?
You know what?
You ever paid attention that most of the people that's in the Justice League rich?
Well, no, I
don't know if Wonder Woman is rich.
No, only Oliver Queen.
I didn't say all. I said most.
Well, only a few of them are because Oliver Queen is. So was Bruce. I don't
Guys,
think. I think Aquaman.
Really gotta go. So thank you guys for having me come on. This was fantastic.
Yo, Lecce, you wanted to say
Hey,
something real quick, Nick. Say what you was going to say real quick before you go.
I was just going to say that I would love to keep talking about how I was correct about the Marvel films, but I really got to go and make that money. So,
all right,
but
no
this was
problem.
great. Thank you so much for having me on, guys. This was awesome. Hope to be on again at some point.
All right, no doubt for sure. Appreciate you for stopping by.
Take it easy, Lecce.
Bye.
All right, peace.
All right, later. But yeah, what you were saying, Colada?
No, it's just I see that the MCU characters are way more relatable than the DC characters that they brought to film. All right, because nobody gives a shit about Clark Kent's life with him and Lois. All right, nobody gives a shit. Batman is like by himself in that Batcave, bro. I mean, come on, he's just a depressing character. All right, and then Aquaman. We don't know shit about Aquaman. Hopefully, the Aquaman movie changes that up for us. Wonder Woman, we ain't know who the hell Wonder Woman was until we actually saw the Wonder Woman movie. All right, and I had read Wonder Woman comic books before, but they never really grabbed me. The only ones that grabbed me was the 1980s comic book run with by George Perez, all right, which came after Crisis on Infinite Earths. That was the only one that grabbed me because they had Greek mythology and all these Greek gods and all that. That really got me pumped. The latest series that came out of Wonder Woman, I was like, who is this person, man? You don't know nothing about their lives. You can't really sympathize. You can't put yourself in their shoes. But yet with Marvel characters, you can sympathize being Ant-Man. You know what I'm saying? He's a dad. You know what I'm saying? An ex-con trying to do things right. You know what I'm saying? You can sympathize with a lot of characters in the MCU.
All right.
That's the reason they're making more bank in Hollywood. All right? Because who the hell could sympathize with Man of Steel, some alien dude, right, from another planet, versus Peter Parker?
Captain America.
Or even Captain America. You know what I'm saying? A man
I had one
displaced
glass.
out
There
of
was still
time.
at least half of it when I left.
Yo, you got two
things
up in here.
Wanna try this?
Yo, you got two things up in here.
Try this little pieces.
Hey, hey, Bloody. You know we can hit your whole household, huh?
Oh shit.
Yep. I see Bloody's name twice. I'm like, wait a minute, man. He's in here twice. That's that echo.
Yeah, but like you were saying, Captain America, you can actually relate to him.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
it's not to knock the DC characters. I do like DC as well. Like a mug.
But you own something about that because you really and truly, that's why we can't relate to none of their movies. But except Wonder Woman, you can relate to her a little bit, and that's why you like a little bit more than all the rest of the movies. So if they with Aquaman, they need to actually show his struggle and make him relatable. That's
exactly.
I really think with the Aquaman movie when it come out, they gonna have to show because basically he's not the king of Atlantis. Like if you paid attention to the Justice League movie, he's not the king. So I really think in his movie he gonna have to take over.
Yeah,
and that's probably where they're gonna introduce Black Manta. You know, that's just what I'm thinking myself. You know my theory.
No, I think you want to play with that.
But you also got to think too is that some DC characters are relatable. Not all of them, but some. You know, like right now, everyone didn't give enough attention to the character or the guy who played Cyborg. His Cyborg was probably one of the best portrayals of that character. A lot of people forget that Cyborg wasn't always that way. He was just a normal person before being, being melded.
They actually made it more relatable in Justice League. So you want something there. Yeah.
Exactly, and I hope that in the Cyborg movie they kind of show him kind of building that aspect, being able to build towards that kind of fun loving.
If you at the same time they really on Cyborg's part of how they made him, they followed the animated line with the mother box.
But his design was more classic and reminiscent of how he is in some of the comics. But I'm saying is that the way that he portrayed the character, he was flawed. You know, he was
the person that played Cyborg. Like that was the first movie.
Actually, the Cyborg that came out in the movie was from the New 52 run of comic books.
Yeah, the New 52.
I'm just saying though, but it's still the Cyborg movie before.
I know, and that's what I'm saying is that they gave him a great portrayal because the few people that know Cyborg is either from the old Teen Titans TV show or from the game, when he's already been established as a hero for a while and he's more fun loving and jokey. He wasn't always like that. He had a long build up of dealing with being a
like that's what
computer
I'm
first.
saying. They like if you played attention to the series, it played out. The football player got in a car wreck. His daddy fusing with the mother box, and everything that happened in the movie.
Yeah, the only thing for me, it kind of felt like it was fast. It was like boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom,
well,
boom,
they
boom.
cut out a lot of
Nah,
things,
if you
yo.
paid attention, it started before that movie. It was
Yeah.
in.
It was in BBS, but
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying is that they would tease it. Like if you listen to the conversation between his dad and when he first comes home and we see Vic for the first time, he's just like, "How you feeling?" He's just like, "I don't know." He's like, "Do you still remember it? The accident?" They kept teasing the everything that happened, but they didn't show it. That was the thing, but he was still relatable in the way that his character was. But I'm saying that you're not wrong that a lot of DC characters aren't completely relatable, whereas some are, and we got to see that with Cyborg. We really haven't seen this Flash much, but we know Flash's story, and Ezra Miller's take is a little bit more eccentric than the Barry that we're used to at this point, especially young. So it is how they're gonna have to play him out from here. But as we saw in the Justice League, because we've already seen Batman, we've already seen Wonder Woman and Superman, they're not that relatable. Whereas some of the new cast kinda is, but that's where it causes that kind of they don't meld well together. Whereas in all the Marvel movies, they've portrayed them well in a relatable way, from the way that they've done the Guardians to everything else,
But see,
especially the Guardians.
the problem with DC is this: they when they did do when they create their movies, they really try to have people to think if you paid attention to the comic books, it's the same storyline. Like Superman storyline not gonna change, Batman storyline not gonna change until like the only time Batman story actually made a drastic change was Flashpoint and what this is Batman Metal. That's the only two that Batman storyline changed. Batman always had the same storyline, but and that's what's killing DC is because they don't explain their characters. When you get a Marvel movie with a person to themselves, is going to explain what's going on. You're not going to be blind to the beginning of the movie. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, you're making a lot of sense, man. It is true. It's
It
like,
is very true.
They
I mean,
try, but like you said,
I was
Batman
this
hasn't
same
been
thing we
revamped
was
since
talking.
he first came out back in the day. In what, 1940s?
Right. He always got the same storyline. His parents got killed when he was a kid. He embraced his fears as growing up and became Batman. Now, if you read the new Batman Metal, where Batman became a Green Lantern, when his parents got killed, he just got so pissed off he killed the dude.
He killed the
Yo,
dude.
you cut out on us, Carter.
Yeah.
Hold on, what? Man, you say he killed the dude that did what?
That killed his parents.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right.
Yo, Bloody, you up on here again twice.
Am I still showing up twice?
Yeah.
Twice.
I think that's on the computer one.
Got the
Yeah,
computer
you
one and the
showing
phone one.
Like
Let
he
me
didn't
fix
show
that.
he didn't show no kind of remorse from his parents getting killed or nothing. And he got a Green Lantern ring and he turned evil.
Want to know what's the trip though? That in Black Panther, Eric Killmonger could have been Black Batman, right? Because if you look at his history in the movie Black Panther, the way he came to be and how he went about things, this dude ain't ended up becoming good. You know what I'm saying? This dude ended up becoming, basically an assassin for hire, basically working for the U.S. government, the JSOC team that they was going to send after Captain America in Civil War, basically special forces. He had racked up so many kills, it was ridiculous. Why? Because he wanted to get his way back into Wakanda. He wanted that throne because he knew who he was. You know what I'm saying? And his history was a little bit similar to Batman to a certain degree, but he ended up corrupt. Yet Batman ended up good. And being a sad,
I wouldn't even call him. I wouldn't even go so far to call him corrupt. I really think he was just doing what he felt was right.
Yeah,
he did. He was.
was. I can't say that. It's just the way he went about things, though,
I'm
was
just
messed
saying
up.
though,
Because
me being myself, I could agree with him.
oh no, I agree with him as well too. You're not wrong.
I could agree
I mean, I
with him.
But
agree with both
Nakia
of
had
them.
the same ideas he did, except Nakia wanted to do it a different way.
She wanted
You
to
know
do
what
it
I'm
through peace. He wanted to do it by force. Like I said, he wasn't about just black liberation. He was about black imperialization.
saying?
But yeah,
It
I
was,
mean,
some crazy subjects to be sure.
yeah, I mean
Most definitely.
that Black Panther movie, it has so much depth in it. It's ridiculous. I believe, you know, it gets all the well deserved stuff that it's getting because, I mean,
It
you could
touched
critique one
it
part.
touched on so much, bro.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. What?
Right. Hey, you
And it's
buy you
like
might.
when she
Hey, you heard me? You kind of buy, you
went out
might drop
again.
out and come back in. Yeah,
The Bible
drop
was
out and come back
Yeah.
raining in
in.
the streets.
You
All
keep
right.
cutting out.
Like when he was having that conversation with his ex-girlfriend, and she told him, like, I've been out there, I've seen the world. Like when she said that, only thing I can think about is the 4 years that I spent in Africa. You know what I'm saying? I saw Africa for what it really was, and nah, like it really, it's not right there. It's not right here. That's what I'm saying. I could have really sided with Eric. If I was in their shoes, I would have sided with him.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that what's his name?
Who played Get
Black
Out?
Panther's homeboy.
Who
He
played Get Out?
sided with him. Yeah, the
Right.
one
Wakabi.
from Get Out.
Yeah,
Wakabi,
yeah,
exactly.
Wakabi.
Thank you, bloody. Wakabi, he
Wakabi
sided with
was
him
pissed.
quick as hell.
He was pissed off because because T'Challa
You still biting, yo.
Yeah.
You biting on this, Carter.
Yeah, because it's mama and daddy. He didn't avenge mama and daddy, and Skillmonger came and brought him the body of the man he killed his family. Hey, he sided with that man up. I can understand that too. But yeah, we can go on about this here for forever, you know what I'm saying? But time limits and stuff like that. So
Yep.
what about in the MCU that we stand, like, you know what I'm saying, from this present day and the events that we leading up to going to? Because we right now we'd have finally seen this. It's really no word to that you could put in front of Black Panther, the greatness that it have that's coming with this. Now that we finally got past the BP. Now we passed that. We going into this Infinite War. So what y'all think, like, you know what I'm saying, in the timeline, like as in like with the Guardians of the Galaxy, like how everything coming to fold, how y'all think that the Easter eggs is driven around that's gonna be in this what y'all seen so far from this new movie that's they're finna come out with. Matter of fact, let me see what Kano got to say. We ain't hear from him in a minute.
Y'all did hear from me from some time, okay? Skip me. I have to think about this one.
You gotta think about it.
Yo.
There's a lot to be adjusted in this situation. There's a lot of Easter eggs and a lot of things going on. I got to think about this one. I'm skip me. I'm going last.
All right.
Well, let's go.
Well, we're 18 movies in with Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? By the time Ant-Man and the Wasp rolls by, there's going to be 20 movies in. By the time Avengers 4 rolls by, there's going to be 22 movies in. And these guys have been consistent. But at the same time, movies don't take place one movie after the other. That's the thing. Certain timelines jump around. All right. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, that's only 2 months after the first Guardians film. Same thing as this Black Panther movie that just came out. It's actually 1 week after Civil War. All right. So that means, Thor Ragnarok, when did that happen? I'm not really sure. All right. But it's basically saying that it's 2 years after the events of Age of Ultron. All right. Because when Bruce Banner asked him, he's like, yo, did you guys, take care of stuff that y'all had to do in Sokovia? And Thor was like, oh, that was 2 years ago. It's like 2 years ago. He's like, I've been in the Hulk for 2 years. So it's like, the timelines are a little shifted. We know that Civil War is after. Dude, I get confused sometimes. They need to come with a comprehensive timeline in order to explain the movies for people, man, because Thor Ragnarok could be well after Black Panther.
Ragnarok was supposed to be at the same time as Civil War.
Civil
Supposed
War?
to be. Yeah.
All right. So then that makes it a little bit more consistent. Black
Yeah,
Panther
Civil
being a
War
week
be
later,
two, and
and
then
then
yeah.
Infinity War.
So
All right. Well,
how
that's the
long y'all
only
think
thing
a
that really
Infinity War
confused
gonna
me,
be?
though. And then Guardians, we don't know when Guardians actually takes place. What timeline?
Yeah,
It's
because
like
they
it's like
in
a TV show
they
with the Marvel
they
with
in
the
they in outer
TV show.
When did
space. So
Guardians come out? It was during Ant-Man, right? So it was that
Yeah,
summer. It was like Ant-Man was early, and then Guardians came out later on. No.
no, it was the
Bullshit.
other way around. It wasn't.
Ant-Man was the one after Age of Ultron.
Yeah, Ant-Man was after Ultron.
All right. And he's the one that finished it off. And then the following year, we had Civil War and then Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, like the
All
whole
right.
timeline right now is hard to piece
All
together.
right.
Like there was a video that I sent you, Chuck, actually, is that someone actually did a full breakdown of the entire MCU of over 186 hours worth of all the TV shows, all the movies, everything, and where they fit in the entire timeline across all of it in like 15 minutes. But it's like, of course, Iron Man, everything started up first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think it was after the second one. Then we had
No. Captain America was the first one.
Cap. Everything started with Cap back in the day, but remember when he woke up, it was 2012.
And that was after the first Iron Man.
Yeah, that
Yep.
was after the first Iron Man.
if Marvel would have kept the rights to all
Actually, the
that
first
crap,
and second
if Marvel
Iron Man,
would
if
have
you think about it.
kept the rights to all that crap, they would have started with Wolverine.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
they could have. Yeah, especially with Origins.
But I
except
don't
they
think
wouldn't have
Marvel
been
would
as
have
shitty.
started with Wolverine. I think they would have started with the actual X-Men.
No, it probably would have. No, I'm talking about for the timeline
The
and
timeline,
how the
yeah.
timeline was supposed to work. It would have started with Wolverine,
Because you got to
not the
remember he's
movies.
been. Yeah,
No, it would have started with Apocalypse. If that's too far. Brain need to we need to box our brain back into bring our brain back in some. We need
I'm
to
just
go
saying
back
though,
to
far as if they would have kept the rights, it would have started with Wolverine because Wolverine was on that plane with Captain America when he got stuck in the ice.
he was on. I remember him. He was in the truck when they went to war with the.
Yeah, I'm saying they jumped out the plane. Their first mission, the Howling Commandos' first mission.
Right.
Wolverine trained them.
Yeah, because I was looking at it because from on the Origins of Wolverine, they kind of showed a person that looked like Captain America on the cool, but it wasn't him, but he kind of looked like him. And if you go back and look on the Captain America movie, they had somebody looking like Wolverine, but they couldn't actually use the person or even do no real Easter egg about it. It was just something that you had to really be a fan of to recognize for the back in the World War I and II era. Now, I like how they did with Sabretooth, but that's just something they added in there. But the timeline that we in right here, right now, it makes sense and look like it's almost in order, but then you still have a couple of pieces that's out of order. And let's say we have a lot of people that went to see this Black Panther movie. I mean, that's new to this Marvel and the DC universe. And they might stumble on the podcast right here and they might be listening to it just to get a little bit more insight, curious. So like right now, like the first Iron Man movie, and then the Captain America movie. So where we standing today from like with the Captain America to Black Panther and like with the timeline from here on out, as in what we looking for, like the we're in phase 3 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, phase 3. Phase 3 is the longest phase ever too.
Yeah, because it's been 7 movies or so.
Yeah, dude. Ridiculous, man.
Because what was it? Black Panther was Black Panther 18 or 19?
18.
It was 18, and then Infinity War is gonna be 19.
Yep.
So let's see.
Captain Marvel will be 21.
Yep.
20 is
I thought
Ant-Man
was gonna be 19.
I think phase 3 has been 7 movies or 8 movies now.
No, Ant-Man is 20 because
Ant-Man gonna come out after Infinity War.
Yep, but it supposedly takes place before Infinity War. That's what I'm hearing.
Hey, I thought it was going to actually take place after Infinity War, and he actually went back to go help them in Infinity War, and that's the trouble that he got into. Not the trouble he got.
Remember, like you gotta think, man, everything is all wonky because you gotta remember
You got to think about it. They broke. Remember, Captain America at the end of Civil War went to break these dudes out of prison.
Yeah, but
Right?
you
And
also
you notice in the Ant-Man trailer, they put one of those bracelets on his leg.
Yeah, he's under house arrest. But I was saying you got to remember too is that we already know the timeline is kind of all over the place. Because think about the first Ant-Man movie, that literally was happening at the same time as Civil War. Because at the end of the first Ant-Man movie, we saw this cutscene where
just before Civil War or during Civil War, but at least half.
Yeah, because remember when they were at remember when they were there at the UN for the Sokovia Accord signing, that Sam when he was with Cap, he said, "I ran into some trouble." He's like, "Well, what can we do for Buck?" He's like, "Well, I know a guy," and that was literally the last scene at the end of Ant-Man.
Actually, it happened before Civil War. Now that scene was from Civil War. The scene where he said, "I know a guy."
Yeah.
Because he saw Falcon and Falcon wasn't with Cap. Falcon was actually at the Avengers complex, right? Their headquarters. During the Ant-Man movie. So that's actually just before Civil War. The way they put it out. You know what I'm saying? Ant-Man first, then Civil War.
Yeah, but it was like going right into it. Like it was literally
or it could be
definitely
happening
going
pretty
right
much
into
at the same time, like right at the same time.
Like,
so why this was
all
going
of
on?
this stuff is happening back to back. So
because that one was because remember
Savage actually said it. It was happening back to back. Ant-Man happened in Civil War immediately after.
Exactly.
Everything going on in the MCU is happening back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, but it's just like piecing them together where they sit because they're so far apart, but knowing where they are in the timelines. What
I mean, the only reason why they fall apart because they can't put out a movie every week. So they saying a week to pass, but it might be like 6 months for us before we get another Marvel movie. So in a 6 month period,
that's the thing.
Yeah, I think that's.
Oh, and that's not what I'm saying. And I get where you're coming from on that. I'm just saying that in the movies themselves, there's no hard timelines. Like there's only a few movies where they show a solid date to give a solid time frame for anyone to figure something out.
But we just got to go by the order they come out in. They more or less been the only exception would be Guardians.
Yeah.
Which Guardians was actually 2 months after the fact. Yeah. And then what was the last movie that came out? Thor. If Thor Ragnarok happened during the same time as Civil War, right?
All right.
And we can that it has to be at least a little bit of time because at the start of Infinity War, the ship is blown up and the Guardians run into him. So we have to figure out how much time is going to run between where that is to then.
Yeah, but that's the after credit sequence, right?
No.
The end.
No, yeah.
You can find out. What are you talking about? You can find out when Ragnarok is going on at the end of Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
The
end credits. You can find out when Ragnarok start is at the end of Doctor Strange.
Yeah, and Doctor Strange had a several month time gap between from the beginning of the movie to where it ended.
Yeah, the time, Jim.
I'm not talking about Doctor Strange. I'm talking about the end of the movie. If you pay attention to the end of the movie, when he took over as Sorcerer Supreme, he was talking to Thor like, why would I let you and your brother in here from other realms that's powerful enough to destroy the earth? He like, we looking for our dad. He was like, well, I'll help you so you can hurry up and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was right after.
That was right after.
Yeah, that was the after credit sequence.
Yeah, so that had to be going on at the exact same time when Thor
Not
went
the
back.
exact same time, right after the way Savage said it.
Yeah, immediately after. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that Thor was going on. The beginning of Ragnarok must have been going on at the same time as Doctor Strange before he ran into him in the middle of the movie when they were looking for Odin. And then it goes right after. That's what we're saying is that there's so much time disparation between all the movies.
Right. Yeah. Then they showing it from different angles.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of sort of, but it's not really that confusing though. You're just confusing the matter. You know what I'm saying? So it's more common sense, but it's just, we know that part in Thor in the beginning obviously had to happen a little bit before he saw Doctor Strange. You know what I'm saying? But that after credit sequence was actually from the Thor movie. All right, it's not from the Doctor Strange movie. It's a snippet that he took out from the Thor movie. All right, so Doctor Strange movie happened. Let's say he was like on vacation for like a week or a couple of days after, then Thor shows up at his crib. All right? The Thor Ragnarok still happened after the fact because it showed that Thor, once he beat Surtur in the beginning, he goes to Asgard, then he goes directly to Earth.
I'm saying all this was going on.
So
What I
now
was
you
the
said it
point
right,
I'm making.
Savage. It takes
No,
place
I'm saying,
exactly afterwards.
yeah, exactly after that. The same one.
Biden, bro.
And he bad.
But y'all haven't been understanding what I'm saying. And saying I get that aspect. I'm saying in the actual timeline, though, there's no given dates. We've seen only a few dates throughout the timeline, throughout all the movies, that give an idea on when it's happening. We know where some pick up.
All right, I understand what you're saying, but you need to go back and look it up because I know what I'm saying.
Hey, look at the timeline as in
I know
They
the
really don't
timeline.
have to spell it out for you. That's what he's trying to tell you, Knuckles. That they don't really have to spell it out for you. You just it's a given that each movie takes place after the next one. The only exception would be Guardians, all right, where Guardians Volume 2 took place 2 months after Guardians.
Hi.
Yeah. All right, so with that being said, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why I just been more like on questions that like just odd stuff like, you know,
Well,
it was
who wants to be a millionaire right now?
nah, not that one now. But y'all know how you were saying about
I was getting confused too, yo.
By in
I'm trying to figure it out.
in
Got
Wakanda,
50
they were
lifeline?
saying in Wakanda they were saying that, you know, how the vibranium, that it was so rare. I mean, it wasn't rare, but they would rarely let vibranium out of Wakanda. And like for somebody else to get their hands on vibranium, it's practically impossible. But they're saying like they did have some that was out there. And the prime example was Tony Stark's father, Howard Stark, and how he get his hands on some vibranium. You know what I'm saying? Anybody have any like thoughts or idea of how they would have been able to get some of this rare metal from a location that they probably couldn't even fathom in their mind even existed, even to this generation here. They just finding out about Wakanda because they want to be found now.
They actually explained it in the beginning of Black Panther.
Yeah, basically.
It was King T'Challa's dad. That was 1992, Oakland, right?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And he was talking about that Claw had attacked Wakanda and stolen how many tons of vibranium? And that was well before the first Iron Man movie. The first Iron Man movie happened in 2007, 2008, 2008.
Yeah,
right?
but
So this is 1992, where he stole several tons of vibranium. That's when they killed Wakabi's dad and his mom's. Okay, so it's a given that Howard Stark would have gotten some of that vibranium off the black market.
I think he was talking about Tony's dad.
Exactly, Howard Stark.
But Howard Stark was in the 40s, bro.
Yeah,
and he was also all the way up into the 90s.
Pay attention to the MCU, dude.
Remember, they showed a flashback with Howard Stark and Michael
They
Douglas
showed a flashback in the
Sharon
90s.
Carter. All right, Sharon Carter. No, not Sharon Carter. The original one, Peggy Carter.
Peggy Carter.
And what was it? Ant-Man?
Yeah, hold up. Y'all hear me?
One killed him. When the soldier killed.
Everyone's botting out right now.
Blame Google Hangout.
Yeah.
All right, but remember at the beginning of the Ant-Man movie when they actually showed Michael Douglas young? He was talking to Howard Stark and Peggy Carter.
Okay, yeah, I remember that on they were showing it on the TV screen, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, and Howard Stark was old. All right. And Peggy Carter was old as hell too. Know what I'm saying? And that was like, I'm figuring that must have been around the 90s because that's when the vibranium was stolen the way they explained in Black Panther. It was 1992.
Yeah.
And the first Iron Man movie doesn't happen in 1996. Look at that. Thank you. So he could have probably gotten that vibranium off the black market.
Yeah.
Because that vibranium was already out there. So obviously he found out about this metal, right? And you know how Howard Stark is. That's Tony Stark. You know what I'm saying? Squared. Yeah. So he went and got some of this, like the best metal on earth. He's like, oh, I need some of this shit. So he bought that shit off the black market.
I mean, actually, that makes sense. And it's almost like, they have some good writers. They really have some good writers. Because I didn't see it until you just broke it down. Because I was like, how did he get his hands on it? And I was thinking about the younger version of him. And I ain't thinking about that could have been made later on in their life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's good questions though. Good questions.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's a lot of other people that ain't even know where, it's like, how the hell?
Like, where this come from? And a lot of times, a lot of people like, this don't make sense. Why would this here? And they kind of, for them, they think it's left field. But as soon as you explain it to them, it made sense. Like, okay, it do fit into the movie. So it's better than what I actually thought it was. Now, speaking about that, you know what I'm saying? The Darling ones, you know what I'm saying, really showed off in the Black Panther. You know, I love them. You know what I'm saying? They were some warriors. Especially when she took that wig off and threw it and hit somebody head. Oh, anyway, though.
Dora Milaje.
Yeah, I just call them the Darling ones. That's what it means. But, it's still the same thing. When you just be thinking, I just be reminiscing because, man, that was impactful. But speaking about impactful, like, you know what I'm saying, in the, out of the MCU, which female characters would y'all like to see team up? It could be like 2 or 3.
Yo, let's go with Kano, man. I want to hear your thoughts.
I'm thinking about it right now.
He's always thinking about it. I'm still thinking with my ultimate team up of Valkyrie and Shuri. Those two together, I'm in love with.
I know you sent me that pic.
Yeah. Hey man, with the way Shuri is and the way Valkyrie is, those two would have such great chemistry together. I can't help it.
But adding Jessica Jones into never mind. Don't worry about it. X that out.
Look, I'm still holding out for the Daughters of the Dragons with Misty Knight and Colleen Wing.
I feel you on that one.
That one would be nice.
Yeah.
Come on, Netflix, make it happen.
What about you, Savage?
The Birds of Prey.
I want to see the Birds of Prey too. I can't front.
I mean, we all want to see
all of them, not just the ones they was advertising on that little clip. I want to see all of them. Batwoman, Batgirl, Catwoman, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I thought those were the Gotham City Sirens.
Nah, I'm talking about all of the Birds of Prey, not just the Siren. They split up. So some of them were still robbing people, like Harley, and Catwoman. Poison Ivy, they were still robbing people. The other 3 was straight Batman type issue.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was a Birds of Prey series written by Gail Simone. It's this female writer. She actually threw her hat into the mix as far as writing a new Batgirl movie. And Gail Simone wrote the original Birds of Prey, which was actually Oracle after Batgirl got crippled by the Joker in The Killing Joke.
Yep.
And Huntress and Black Canary. It was them 3 for a minute, because that comic book run lasted, I don't know how many years. And then they eventually added new characters. You know what I'm saying? They brought in Batgirl, they brought in some other characters and stuff like that.
Power Girl, Supergirl.
Yeah, Power Girl, things of that nature and whatnot. But the original Birds of Prey, I think they should start off with that one, square one.
Didn't they do a TV show like that back in the 90s on
Yeah. The only thing they got wrong on that TV show was Black Canary, yo. They made it this young girl or whatnot that basically ain't know how to use her powers and nothing, and then they made it like what, telepathic or telekinetic. I was like, nah, man, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But either way, it was good for what it was. It was good.
I mean, it was. I think that was a money situation. Well, it probably would have cost them too much money back then.
No. They just wanted to younger down. They wanted to make a younger version of Black Canary, and they completely changed who Black Canary is.
Yeah, because I remember that was running like back in the late 90s.
Yeah, Smallville
90s.
era, man.
Yeah,
Smallville era, bro.
Yep.
Dang.
And it lasted one season because of that, man.
Yeah.
Because like some newer audiences that never heard of Birds of Prey actually gravitated to it. Meanwhile, the comic book fans got turned off because they was like, dude, man, what's up with Black Canary, man? She's like prominent in the comics, and you made her this teenager that doesn't know what the fuck she doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
Black
think Smallville
Canary
was great though.
Black Canary, one of the best fighters in the period.
Yeah,
exactly, bro.
She's trained a majority of the up and coming from the Teen Titans and the Young Justice how to fight because she's a skilled martial artist. I mean, hell, me and you've talked about this, Collider. She trained with Wildcat himself how to box.
Exactly, man.
She knows a thing or two.
What they taught how to smoke rocks? I didn't know they was on rocks, man.
Oh yeah, everyone's on rocks, man. Everyone. I mean, why you think Ollie's always so happy, man?
Nah, but my bid though, like for a female Marvel led movie, you know what I'm saying? You name two of them though, Shuri and Valkyrie. I think they would be great. And Shuri with that Black Panther suit that she didn't come out with in Black Panther. Whatever this was gonna be, you know what I'm saying? She's gonna have some type of armor. All right. And then you also add, let's say
Shuri ended up making a white tiger suit, right?
the white tiger suit for the Puerto Rican chick. Was the white tiger Puerto Rican?
Not the original one.
The original one ain't Puerto Rican because she came out in the cartoons as well. They told me recently, in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoons, and I know she's basically ground level, like the way Luke Cage and Iron Fist and all that. And I know she had a suit. I just thought she had like regular threads, like Iron Fist.
Sheridan ate the purple. Sheridan got her hands on the heart-shaped herb too.
Well, yeah, but she also did time as the Black Panther in T'Challa's place.
Yeah, Black Panther.
So did
I mean, but Black Panther is not
the first white tiger. The first white tiger was the Puerto Rican, and then the second one was the one who was hanging out with Luke Cage and Iron Fist because he was a part of the Heroes for Hire for a while.
Okay.
No, it wasn't. You talking about the new stuff? I'm talking about the old stuff.
Yeah, the first white tiger was a Puerto Rican. That was the one that he was.
That was not the first white tiger. Was not.
All right, who was the first white tiger? Explain to the panel.
Shuri was the first white tiger. T'Challa's sister. Then it got passed on to his niece that joined the Teen Titans.
Wait, Teen Titans, bro, we're talking Marvel, not DC. Where you at?
Not the Teen Titans, the other team. Whatever. It was another team that they made. But the girl was not Puerto Rican. They changed it again and made it made her Puerto Rican recently.
I know there's been like 5 or 6 white tigers, dude.
So white tiger wasn't.
I just googled white tiger and Shuri
one of them was a man.
At all.
Yeah,
I just googled it.
Was a man.
It shows up Hector Ayala.
Yeah, the Puerto Rican.
Angela de Toro, Ava Ayala, and that's it. There's no Shuri on here.
Shuri's always.
How the hell you pronounce that shit?
Yeah, it's Hispanic, bro. Or
he's.
I couldn't.
Yeah,
I had to Google that, man, because like you caught me out of left field. I was like, damn, man. It's like, can I be wrong? Shit.
Yeah, no.
If she didn't actually become the white tiger, she made that white tiger suit.
But they don't have a suit though. It's just regular clothing. It's not an armor.
It's another white tiger.
Well, I'm looking at the history of Marvel right now, and nothing is showing up with Shuri, dude.
Well, hey, who got the coolest lightning suit?
The coolest what?
Lightning
suit?
Not the suit. Who had the coolest lightning power? My bad.
Lightning power?
Yeah, I mean you got the range of Marvel, DC, past, present, and multiverse. So who y'all think would have the coolest lightning suit? I mean, I keep saying suit, power. Probably because we were just talking about suits and stuff like this.
Storm.
Yeah, I was about to say you can't go past the goddess of that.
I say Storm.
Yeah.
You say Storm?
She got the best. She got the best lightning.
All right, that's two.
She can full on create, like change the weather. She can full on create storms.
Exactly.
Although you can't like deny what
I ain't say all the powers. I was talking about she just got just her light, just strictly lightning. I mean, not her making no hurricane or no tornado. You know what I'm talking about? Who got the coolest lightning? If her lightning, that's who got the coolest lightning power. So y'all want to say Storm?
I still say Storm.
Yeah. Static Shock would be a close second though.
All right. What about you, Colada?
Electro.
Ooh.
Yeah, the way he's been portrayed in the comic books, dude, that motherfucker's sick, man. He blew a hole straight through the raft. The raft was that place that Tony Stark went into in the middle of the sea in Civil War. That's the Raft, which is basically a prison for supervillains. That motherfucker blew a hole straight through that bitch and put that shit out. Fucking, that was in the first issue of the New Avengers that featured Spider-Man, Daredevil, Wolverine, Spider-Woman.
Isn't his no, his powers isn't.
So you saying any comic book character with the power,
Yeah,
like
any comic book character.
Marvel,
Zeus?
DC. You're blown out. I try not to laugh on the podcast, but
That's great.
Nah, he right.
no, say Sam, that's OP. That's OP.
No, I asked
Nah,
the
but yo,
question.
he said any comic book though, man. He's
He
not
said
wrong.
any comic book character. You said I asked any comic book character, and you said yeah, Zeus. That's my final answer.
How come I didn't know I was getting set up for that one? See, I see that. That's what you do. You never open the borders all the way up, because as soon as you let that water start flooding, it comes through pouring. And then,
Man, you've done this so many times though, Chuck. You should learn to like put your frames up a little bit better, because we did the same thing with the Robin versus Blue Beetle talk, man.
But as soon as I throw that extra in there, then it's like, oh shit, I knew I shouldn't have did that, because that come the decoders come out. I was like, damn, I was wrong for that one. So I know not to throw that extra in there, that little extra piece of butter. Yeah, that might kill you. But anyway, though, y'all got any?
I tone it down for you.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Let's make it interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're going.
Oh wow. Hey guys, one of my favorite creators, Bill Mantlo, which is basically he suffered a major hit and run back in the late 80s. He was the creator of Rocket Raccoon and a whole bunch of other Marvel characters. He's the one that created the first White Tiger, which was actually Hector Ayala. Was created by writer Bill Mantlo and artist George Perez, the guy that created the new Teen Titans, the ones that we all love, in the black and white Marvel magazine Deadly Hands of Kung Fu in the early 1970s. All right, and Hector Ayala was born in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Right? Okay, I get it.
And he could transform into the superhuman White Tiger through the power of the Jade Tiger amulets. In his alter ego, Ayala fought foes such as the Corporation Crime Cartel and teamed with heroes including Daredevil and Spider-Man. And after many years of fighting crime and nearly being killed, having his secret identity publicly exposed by the villainous Lightmaster, I don't know who he is, and becoming psychologically and physically addicted to the Tiger amulets, Ayala retired. And then I guess the old girl ended up taking the mantle later on and whatnot. But dang, I know he was from San Juan, Puerto Rico. See, now I got to look all that shit up, man. I want to read that.
I heard when you said Puerto Rico, you said it with emphasis. So I knew one
hell
thing.
Yeah, bro. That shit got me
serious.
excited, man.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to dig into that history. I'm going to fucking do a pitch tomorrow for a White Tiger comic book, man.
Hey. I'm lucky enough I can get in the movie.
But to tone that down,
his granddaughter took over for him later?
I'll pick Shazam.
Oh, okay.
And understand when I say Shazam, that count for Shazam and Black Adam, because they got to use the same magic word to get their power.
Yeah, part of Shazam's powers is from Zeus.
Right?
Because it's like Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, and who's the M?
Even
I forgot
Black
who the
Lightning
M was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Black
Mercury?
Lightning, okay. He all right.
But you see that Chuck, he's still trying to find a way to get Zeus in there just a little bit.
But yeah, he put a little Zeus in there. I mean, that's still. Yeah.
But you got to think about this. In the Injustice line, Superman killed Captain Marvel.
Poor old Billy got shot right in the face with the laser beams.
Huh? Oh, Marvel.
No.
You said Superman killed
Captain Marvel. Just the
Shazam.
Shazam. which I don't
yeah.
see how that was earthly possible, but you know, it's a comic book.
Well, I mean, he melted his face right through with laser beams.
He can't hurt nobody with magic.
Right, magic cut through Krypton.
He can't hurt nobody with magic.
Yeah, because pretty much magic do go through Krypton. But anyway, though, Kaleidoscope right now is officially found a new passion. So he might be MIA for all my monster hunters out there. So I might not find him for a little while, but he will be back. But for right now, he on a hunt, and he on a prowl, and he on a prey. He found the new comic book. I must say, that's nerdy.
Yo, definitely, man, definitely.
Look, he's got to support his people, man.
Hell yeah! Hey, when he was pretty much telling the introduction of the character, I was like, damn, he sound nice.
Yo, it is 5 white tigers, yo, and it was different white tigers and whatnot, and all of them were like different races, which is a trip. One was like half
Jewish, half
white
African.
Bengal tigress of East Indian descent. That was the second one. Then the third one, Casper Cole, was Jewish African American heritage. And then you got Angela Del Toro, the 4th white tiger, which is actually Hector Ayala's niece. All right. And then the 5th white tiger, Ava Ayala, which is his sister.
Oh wow, damn!
Talk about keeping it in the family.
Yeah, they brought it back to the family though, because there was some other people, that chick from that white Bengal tiger, East Indian descent. Nope. That's not right.
But
Either way, though, man, I'm interested to read all this stuff, though, man. And at least they brought the sister back. But the reason they ain't come back with Hector Ayala, he actually got killed. He got convicted of a crime he didn't commit, and they shot him dead in prison, man. While Matt Murdock was trying to clear his name.
Oh,
And Matt Murdock proved his innocence after he was dead, which is fucked up.
Hey, warning, this episode is spoilerific. I'm sorry for not saying it at the beginning. So if y'all haven't read and caught up to what's going on,
they should know by now. They should know by now this podcast is spoilerific.
Hey, y'all heard me in my dry eye voice, that warning, man. You know how you got to talk all calm.
Yeah, but yo, just to clear it up though, he was shot trying to escape shortly before evidence emerged that belatedly proved his innocence.
Oh, damn, that's a sad story right now.
Tragic.
Yeah,
dude, that's messed up. Seriously, man.
That's a tragedy.
On Collider hitting us with old tragedy note toward the end of the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Anybody have any final thoughts or have any little extra they just want to get off their chest before we get ready to get up out of here?
Oh, God,
you ain't do that thing of the week, man. The off with the head segment.
Yeah. That's gonna come up now. Yeah. Collider, don't forget to do the outro.
Oh yeah. All
right. But anyway, before we go to the end, I just want to see if anybody wants to say anything else before I get on to this. You know what I'm saying? Out with your head statement. You know what I'm saying? All the panel members here, they pretty much know how this operate. They know how to get the gears rolling. So you know what I'm saying? For all my first time listeners out here, it's just gonna be a simple pick and match and choose the victor. So the two fighters we got on right now, who would y'all choose in between Pyro or Firestorm to go up against Sub-Zero? And we're gonna start with you, Kano.
All right, what is it again? Say one more time.
Wait, what Pyro you talking? Like you talking about
the
Pyro?
One from the X-Men.
X-Men, yeah.
Yeah. Pyro versus Firestorm.
Yeah, who would you choose the fight against Sub-Zero?
Dang, man, we gotta go there, man. You give me something that's kind of simple to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Fire and Ice. That's I say Firestorm.
You gonna go with Firestorm?
Well, you gotta think though. You gotta compare Firestorm to Pyro, but I'm personally down with Firestorm.
You a Firestorm fan too?
Yeah, I've always liked Firestorm. You gotta think, man. He's nuclear. He's full on nuclear.
Hey, I'm gonna have to go with Firestorm too, and I can give you my reason.
What would be yours?
Pyro can only manipulate fire. He cannot create his own fire.
Yeah.
And Firestorm is fire. They could pretty much go nuclear.
He's basically nuclear. That he can transmute Sub-Zero's ice to nothing.
Yep.
He
Firestorm can manipulate anything.
Sub-Zero to nothing.
I mean, but Firestorm is not that good. Well skilled of a fighter. He can do that. He got the potential to do that, but that's not Firestorm.
All he have to do is explode.
Man, you think he gonna kill everything around him? We gotta think about the type of his personality as well. Y'all just saying base power, but you gotta think about the personality. Is he willing to do this here? Will he do this here? What will Sub-Zero do? How far will Sub-Zero go? How far will Firestorm go? Do the
Are you speaking of current Firestorm or Firestorm from
OG Firestorm?
OG Firestorm. He's talking Ronnie Raymond, Martin Stein. Yeah, he would still
nuke the city, dude.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna throw my hat into the mix. I would say Firestorm as well. You know what I'm saying? Especially OG Firestorm, Ronnie Raymond. Why? Because he's actually gone up against Killer Frost. And he wouldn't even be paying attention to her while she's throwing icicles at his face. He'd be turning them into flowers. All right? That's OG Firestorm. He doesn't need to pay attention to them. He can transmute anything. All right? You saw it in Crisis on Earth X. It was one of those episodes where he converted that giant alien spaceship. It wasn't Crisis on Earth X. The one's from the year before, where it was the giant alien ship coming down on him. He converted that whole ship into water. He converted the whole ship into water. The Dominators went and fucking skipped town. They was like, oh, hell no. We ain't messing with this dude. What can Sub-Zero do against Firestorm, yo? Yeah. Gonna make a whole bunch of flowers and whatnot. Oh, flowers, yo. I'm gonna freeze your ass now.
And you gotta remember though, too, is that here's the real question. Which Sub-Zero are you talking about?
It doesn't matter which Sub-Zero. Firestorm still got him. It could be Sub-Zero and his whole clan. It could be the whole Lin Kuei.
Man, no, Firestorm is not that cold-blooded. He could be that cold-blooded, but he's not that cold-blooded.
Dude, he could lock them all in a giant cell, man. It's Firestorm. He could transmute anything.
At the same time, I don't think he could fuck with Smoke.
Hey, man, no one can fuck with Smoke. That's my boy right there.
I don't think he can fuck with Smoke. Because the thing about this, Smoke is really a demon.
Yeah, so but he could be contained. He could be celled. He can't walk through walls. He could easily transmute a giant cell and whatnot and make it without no air. Does he need air?
I don't think so.
All right, so then he'll be there for the rest of his life then. If he can't get out, you just put him in a box with no windows, just a ceiling, a floor, and 4 walls.
But if that was the case, Firestorm would die before him then.
I don't know, man. It's a demon.
Don't matter if he's a demon. They can still be contained.
What
they can't walk through walls.
You gonna put a holy cross on a demon made out of smoke?
No, he don't need to put a holy cross on him. He just needs to contain him in a box, man. The demon ain't Kitty Pryde.
Hey, man, she can get out anything.
She could walk through walls. You know what I'm saying? Smoke ain't walking through no walls.
But can he teleport with Smoke, though?
Yeah, he can teleport, but you would need to see where you're teleporting to, or can he just will himself out there?
I don't know.
I always thought he could will himself wherever when he throws a smoke.
I mean that's one of those.
That's something. That's another topic. Mortal Kombat is another topic.
Yeah, I know, man.
Mortal Kombat is another topic. We're going to say that one for another.
But the fight was against Sub-Zero. The fight was against Sub-Zero, and Sub-Zero will get bodied by Firestorm.
Get straight, dude. He get bodied by Firestorm. Yeah, Firestorm just separating, going nuclear would be enough to just end them. They don't even have to do anything. Be like, all right, we done.
Walk away. Firestorm ain't that good, but if y'all must say.
Nah, man, OG, Ronnie and Martin, yes, they were.
I'm saying, like, the new Firestorm, he, like, trying to be a hero. The OG Firestorm, he'll blow up the whole city without, just to kill you.
He fought Killer Frost on so many occasions, it was just, like, shrugging her off like it was nothing, because he was trying to to mess her up, but he wasn't paying attention. He didn't really care.
Okay, well, the jury has been said. Sub-Zero, off with your head. It was a cold time knowing you. And that was cold-blooded.
We gotta get some sound effects for that.
Yeah, I know. I've been searching and trying to find the perfect stuff to download. It's coming soon. It's coming real soon. But it's progress. The podcast it started at one level, and we're gonna gradually get to the next level and push and be a better podcast. So the people that have been rocking with us from day one, I appreciate y'all. Y'all able to actually see us grow. And I'm glad to have y'all aboard this fantastic voyage that we about to take. But anyway, though,
I got one real quick though, man. It'll mess everybody's heads.
Yeah, go
Daredevil, or White Tiger? Who would give the better fight to Jessica Jones?
White Tiger.
Nah, Daredevil.
Nah, yeah,
Man,
White Tiger.
I think both of them will wipe the floor with Jessica Jones. Like, that's my most hated Marvel character, Jessica Jones.
Second. Squirrel Girl, number one.
Hey, stop hating on the girl,
right.
Squirrel Girl.
You're right. I forgot about Squirrel
Oh, man, y'all both hate it.
Oh, man, that's number one. That's number one.
You hearing
Don't
this?
nobody want to hear the power of the chipmunk. I like Alvin, Simon, and Theodore.
And yet she's still done all this great stuff.
Like what?
Thanos, bro.
Okay. A lot of people beat Thanos, bro.
In a what if?
Thanos is the bitch of Marvel now.
Yo.
Not only that, but she's also gone out. She's stolen Tony Stark's suit, bro. She's stolen his suit out of his.
Guys, which one of the two though would be the better fight though, man? White Tiger or Daredevil? Who would give the better fight to Jessica?
I'm still Daredevil.
Daredevil, the Billy Clubs go a long way, no doubt.
Especially his custom made Billy, because he could turn that into a staff and he can also use it to swing around.
I honestly don't think Daredevil would take us seriously. So I had to give it to White Tiger because he don't really deal with them.
Well, which White Tiger?
What do you say, Kato?
Either one. It don't matter.
Oh man, this discussion just turned into
White Tiger and Daredevil go face off, and then whenever we see.
I was gonna say White Tiger and Daredevil going would be a better fight than throwing Jessica.
I want to see. All right, I got one. Who you think would be better? Damian Wayne or Danny Rand?
Yeah, but you're right. Either or would actually take out Jessica Jones. Damian Wayne or Danny Rand?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. Iron Fist will body Damian Wayne. Yo, y'all crazy, man. It's the power of the Iron Fist, bro.
Man, you think Iron Fist could beat Damian Wayne?
Hell yeah. But I mean, Damian Wayne in the current timeline is what, 13? Come on, man. He'll get bodied in a second, man. We ain't talking injustice here, bro.
That's what I forgot. I'm sorry. I meant Injustice, Damian Wayne.
Oh, Injustice, Damian Wayne. He would still get bodied by Iron Fist. He would still get bodied, man. Y'all thinking about Iron Fist from the Netflix series, yo. Y'all ain't seen Iron Fist in the comic books.
I'm talking about the real Iron Fist.
Yeah, he's the immortal living weapon, bro. Damian Wayne, man. Yo, he could probably do that firestorm shit. Know what I'm saying? Where he ain't even paying attention to this dude, just blocking all this shit. Bow! Dead in the chest, yo. Damian Wayne is landing into the wall and knocked out cold. The power of the Iron Fist is immortal, bro.
I mean, but I ain't like the Iron Fist could do anything with the Hulk, so it don't matter.
With the Hulk?
Hey, that's not true. That's not true.
Damian Wayne couldn't do shit with the Hulk. What you talking about?
Hey, that's not true because I do remember when Iron Fist uppercutted the Hulk to the moon.
Oh damn!
Dang.
He still can't do nothing with the Hulk though.
If you get uppercutted to the moon, I think
Fist,
you can't do
Iron
something.
Fist fucking slayed a dragon. Damian Wayne has never slayed a dragon.
Man, dragons don't exist besides for Iron Fist.
Man, they wasn't even on Earth. They was in heaven.
Dude, how the fuck does Superman exist? He's from a fucking alien planet.
Oh, yeah.
They're comic books, bro. So in the realm of comic books,
I'm talking no,
goes.
Cloud. I said the dragon don't. I'm talking about in this comic book universe. I said dragons do not exist only on Iron Fist. The rest of it, don't know dragons exist.
Yo, Fin Fang Foom. He's not from Iron Fist. He's from the Fantastic Four, one of their enemies. He's a freaking giant ass dragon.
Yep.
Yeah, that is true.
You know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with Iron Fist.
How you be pulling?
And you do understand
but Fin Fang Foom is a relatively well known.
Hell yeah, he came out in Ultimate. What was it? Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Fin Fang Foom was one of the bosses and shit.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He's one of the Dragon Lords of what's it? Kakara Antara? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's some weird name. I can't pronounce it either.
I'm the person that missed dragons in the MCU.
Because dude,
Yeah,
remember,
Usually.
here's the thing: Fin Fang Foom didn't even show up originally in the Fantastic Four comic. He showed up in the Strange Tales comic.
Yeah, yep. You're right.
Back in the 30s, bro.
Triple Cup.
What's good?
Did you forget when I sent you that Iron Man backstory? Not Iron Man. I'm sorry. Iron Fist backstory with all those different people that was in that fighting tournament, and they all had to go through the same training and killing the dragon that he did.
Yeah, but
that series was badass too. I like that.
So you can't say, you know what I'm saying, he was the only one. It was more than just him. And that's when he found out he couldn't access all his power because they still had another living Iron Fist.
Yep. And he was still bodying dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't get his full power to do made him kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember,
that was the old Iron Fist, right?
They have to take the heart of the dragon, but the dragon doesn't die.
Right.
There's a reason they're called the immortal living weapon, because the dragon lives forever.
As long as the dragon alive, it's gonna be Iron Fist.
Yep.
Well,
there's no objections in. So,
but
Damian Wayne would get bodied, bro. But Damian Wayne is cool. Don't get me wrong. He's my favorite character in Injustice.
I mean, it's one of those things. Is that Iron Fist is definitely like really powerful, and if you're going with the one from the comics, he's definitely more skilled than the one that we've seen in the show. However, if they're going Injustice, Damian doesn't hold back, and he spent years honing himself. Like,
dude, Iron Fist will snap that sword in two, yo, with his fist. It's like pling. That's that end of the fist, yo. Know what I'm saying? When he throws them little smarter rangs and whatnot, you kick them shits out there. Chapling, chapling.
Man,
Come on.
I'm thinking about Injustice, and I remember I just thought about something. Damian did get brave enough to fight Batman, and it only took one punch. So I might. Yeah, Batman knocked Damian Wayne out with one punch when he like, I'm gonna show you that I'm really not fighting you.
Yeah, I know.
He punched him one time, the fight was over with. He tried it again, he kneed him in the stomach, the fight was over with.
True that.
And that was an Injustice line.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess Iron Fist. I'm still stoked about the dragon stuff, but anyway,
I'll send you the link again.
I mean, I remember dragons in Iron Fist, but see, I just don't remember dragons in the whole MCU. Like as in, anytime I seen dragons stuff, it always had something to do with Iron Fist. Like I ain't seen dragons.
They had a couple more. Then they had a couple more, bro.
Yeah,
because
the main one was like we said, Fin Fang Foom.
Fin Fang
created
Foom
by Jack Kirby, right?
See, that's what I'm saying. I overlooked it. I ain't saying it didn't exist. I said I overlooked it. See, I just thought it was all in Iron Fist, but I know I need to go back onto that.
Now, there's been a lot of issues where like dragons have shown up. I think even in Asgard they have dragons and whatnot. And in China.
Yeah, Asgard, I probably can understand, but that probably something that.
Weren't there also space dragons on one of the planets?
It could be, yo. Yeah, definitely from the cosmic side of the MCU. Yep.
I think you're talking about the Destiny.
No.
Destiny.
Destiny. Those exist in our solar system, man. I ain't talking about them motherfuckers. I'm talking about. I remember that someone mentioned that there was dragons in one of the cosmic planets out there.
I don't remember that.
It could be, man. There's just so many fucking comic books. I know I never read them all. Shit.
Right.
I read but I never got a chance to read them all. I only read the ones I'm like my favorite characters.
Yeah. I wish I knew the history of all the Guardians of the Galaxy comics, but I don't, man.
And from what I'm hearing, I want to go back and check them out because I'm hearing that was a real good series.
Guardians of the Galaxy? Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Well, I can tell you one thing is that don't expect the Peter Quill that you know, because back then he was a retired war vet and did nothing but black humor. Like he was like dark as fuck.
Well, in that run, but I read one of the most recent runs, the one by Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah.
And that one I really loved, Joe. That's the outfit that Gamora has in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. That looks kind of like something out of Mass Effect. And they actually added Angela. Angela was actually Thor's sister, not Hela. But for the MCU version, they made Hela his sister, which kind of bummed me out because that means we'll never see Angela in the MCU.
Yeah, and the fucked up part about it, Hela was Loki's daughter.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
That's why when I that's what kind of slowed me down with Ragnarok. I was like, they messing up too many characters. I mean, they kind of got Valkyrie. I ain't gonna lie, Valkyrie was straight. I liked her, but
yeah.
I mean, they got to make a lot of change ups, and some of them, I
mean, I understand a lot of change ups they have to make, but those, as far as changing characters, period, that's something they shouldn't have done.
Yeah, because Loki, dog, they still gonna make the same storyline.
All right, this is the whole thing. When Ragnarok ended, they ended up having to make a deal with the Queen of the Underworld, which is Hela, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So if she's not the Queen of the Underworld, who is?
Yeah,
that's the only way they're gonna. That's the only way they're gonna get back. You know what I'm saying?
They take it.
How they gonna fix it? That's the problem. How they gonna fix this?
I don't think they're gonna fix it. They just went with what they put in the movie, which is it's messed up for us that actually read the comics and whatnot. But like for the movie going audience, they ain't know who the fuck Hela was. Yeah. Let's be honest.
But I mean, some of the changes they make, it takes away potential like characters in the future. But in the way that they do them, I mean, it's not necessarily bad. I know as the hardcore nerds that we are, we know the potential and the change of and what it takes away. But I mean, overall, I didn't mind that Hela was their sister. I thought that was an interesting.
I mean,
take.
As far as it was all right. But this is what the main thing that I didn't understand was this. They moving Asgard, right?
Yep.
They moving Asgard to where?
Well, not Asgard. Asgard blew up.
Nah, the new Asgard. They're gonna build new Asgard. They're moving it to where the Vikings came from, right?
Well, they
ain't say that at the end of the movie. They just a big ship showed up in front of them.
Yeah,
I'm saying
that's what at the end of the movie. But the rumor is it's either gonna be in Scandinavia or it's gonna be in Wakanda. That they're gonna come in as refugees.
Nah, they're not going to Wakanda, dude. It's not gonna
happen. Wow.
He said, "Keep the white people out of here."
They would go to Norway. They would go to Norway because Odin said this is a nice place.
Yeah, all right. Norway. Okay, but. I mean, I understand why they would do that because that's basically where the Vikings were actually.
But how do we know if they're actually going to make it to Norway? Because if Thanos found them at the end of Thor Ragnarok, what if he kills all of them?
Well, that's kind of what we're expecting. If you remember seeing the Infinity.
Yeah. From the trailer, it showed like a whole bunch of dead bodies, and then Loki giving him the Tesseract.
Well, it's not even,
and those look like Asgardians. They were dressed like the Asgardians from Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, well,
I was like, did Thanos body all of them?
Well, not just that trailer. if you saw some of the footage that came out from the D23 Expo last year, the very opening scene is the Guardians going through a debris field, and they're talking about this is the location for a planet. They're like, where is it? They're like, I think all of this is it. And they find Thor floating in space because he crashes onto the ship, and they pull him in, and he's been unconscious. So more than likely, that scene right there leads to the ship being blown up, and the Asgardians either all killed or spread out with whatever, but he gets left behind.
Yo, that's gonna be so sick in the fucking movie. I mean, I wonder if they're gonna show that, yo.
Yeah,
But
because
that's what like the way he met Data Bob, right?
Yeah, because they have him unconscious and they're looking at him, and then he wakes up freaking up, and that's when he's just like, "Who are you guys?" And they're like, "Hey, we're the Guardians."
Yeah, but I think they might show they probably gonna be a Thanos in the ship, and he shoots up at him. It be a big explosion where they make the lights just go big and just boom, and everybody go
then
flying.
why would it show Loki though in the trailer though, man? Say, how could Loki be in a trailer with a whole bunch of dead Asgardians at his feet?
I mean, this Loki we talking about. That explains it right there.
No, it don't explain it, man.
I mean,
the way
think about
he's
it, Loki.
What? He conjured them up out of his own mind. It was like, oh, let me show Thanos a whole bunch of dead people on the floor. Come on.
I mean, he could do that, but I doubt
He
that.
actually had the power to do that.
Yeah, he
Loki
could.
is a trickster. You cannot trust him.
That is very true.
Yeah, he could probably be hiding that shit from Thanos. Who knows, man? But I don't know.
Might
I
give
know
him
it's gonna be
a
dope ass
Tesseract.
movie though. I need to see that movie, man.
Look,
I'm
bro,
hoping
look
something.
at
look at this, bro. Look at this. We're only 2 months away. You just gotta hold out a little bit longer. Only just a little longer.
Man. I want to see, man. I want to see the Asgardians get bodied, man. I mean, I ain't got nothing against the Asgardians, but I think it'll be sick as hell.
Look, I want to know what's gonna happen to Peter, because that scene where he's talking to Tony, he's just like, "I'm sorry, I failed you," is like nearly like unconscious, unresponding in Tony's arms, and just watching him get decked in the mouth.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, it looked like he was flying into outer space and shit like that thing that he was on. Looked like it was going up into outer space.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? Spider-Man can't breathe up there.
I mean, if he's in the Iron Spider suit, maybe.
Yeah, that's the one I think he had on, huh?
Yeah, he gets the Iron Spider outfit, because we see him when he jumps on the giant rings or whatever, that he's in the Iron Spider outfit.
And
Which I love the design for this Iron Spider. When you saw it at the end of Homecoming, God, I was so excited.
What was you gonna say, Savage?
Tony Stark gonna have that bleeding edge.
Yeah, he's gonna get the bleeding edge armor. Oh, that's
He's gonna get that from Wakanda, huh?
Yeah, he's gonna get
Y'all
that.
think, what was it, Shuri?
Yeah, sure, he's gonna help him.
Yeah, she gonna show him how it's done.
Oh, dude, I can't wait for that interaction. She's gonna talk down to him like he's an idiot so much. So,
man, everybody been talking about they can't wait to see her in the next movie. So they better have all of the women back from Wakanda.
We are gonna.
Well,
see
it looks like it.
Yeah, because if you look at the trailer, you see Okoye and I think Nakia running with them, and we already know that Shuri's gonna help develop.
And then M'Baku's there too, man.
Yeah, and I mean they went to war. They went to war on Wakanda.
Because they activated all the border defenses, so all the tribes are going to be there. And as we saw at the end of Black Panther, he offered M'Baku a hand back and offered the Jabari a seat back at the table with the council. So we know that he brought them back into the fold.
Yep.
And if you paid attention, that M'Baku have a heart-shaped herb.
No, he didn't.
They didn't use that whole herb on T'Challa.
What you mean they used the whole herb on him?
If you paid attention, when the first time they gave him that herb, they cut that herb in half. So they didn't show if they cut that herb in half or gave him that whole thing, but they offered him that. They offered the
tobacco.
Yeah, they offered him the herb. And they never showed if he took that herb or not.
Yeah, well, he said, from what I saw in the movie, he said he ain't want it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Well, he ain't say he ain't want it. He just basically said, "Come with me."
Yeah, he basically like, "Come with me. I'm gonna give you your son."
And then they took him to T'Challa, and then from there, it seemed like they gave the herb to the moms, and the moms crushed up the herb.
Yeah, basically, but they didn't show it. They didn't show it. They didn't show in detail as they did the first time they gave him the herb. Like that movie
So
left
what
a
leads you
lot
to
of
believe
stuff.
that they cut it in half, though?
They cut it in half the first time.
You know, they gave him half the herb.
Yeah, when they buried him the first
Man,
time, they only
now you
gave him half
finna,
the
now you
herb.
finna have me going back to the movie theater, man.
Yeah. Nah, he might be onto something though, because if the first time, because I wasn't paying attention to the first time. You know what I'm saying?
And then
But
this another thing. If they didn't give it to him, just saying they didn't give it to him. When you burn plants, what happened in the next season when it's time for those plants to bloom?
yeah, they'll bloom again. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's no telling if they're gonna give all of the leaders of the tribes the heart-shaped herb or not.
Yeah, for that big war against Thanos, they might need to get
Exactly.
the
They might
Yo,
whole.
give
man, but
every
some of those leaders is way over the hill, though, man. I'm
nah.
serious, man.
I ain't talking about the dude with the plate in his lip and that old lady and stuff. They all
Yeah.
had young warriors standing
Oh,
next to
yep.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right.
You gonna
Yep.
see Wakabi? Is he gonna get his redemption?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just like
never know.
Nakia was the warriors for her tribe and whatnot. She was like the main warrior. She wasn't the
Right.
leader.
Yeah.
She was the
Right.
main warrior for her
And
tribe.
that was so cool how they put it together. Like, you know what I'm saying, tribes, you know, if they wanted to challenge for the throne, they could actually have the opportunity for anybody can get the throne. And
Yeah.
matter of fact, even his sister could have challenged him for the throne if she really wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
But
you
you
got
heard
any
it.
kind of raw blood, you can challenge for the throne. That's why they couldn't tell
Killmonger.
Killmonger nothing. 'Cause
Exactly.
he had the right to challenge for the throne. His brother, his daddy was a prince.
Yeah, exactly. He was T'Challa's dad's, well, actually T'Challa's uncle.
Right. Should have given the royal bloodline. And that's why he won fair and square. He did everything.
Yeah, that's
He
why he
knew
was telling the
everything
old
from
dude.
the
He was like,
start.
"Ask me my name. Ask me my name." And T'Challa was like, "Nah, lock his ass up." And the old dude for the tribe was like, "Oh, what's your name?" He's like, "Oh,
He basically
I
told him,
can't. I can
he
pronounce
was
his
like, "What
name."
you want? I already know who you are. I give you what you want." He was like, "I want the throne." He like, "Nah, you ain't getting that. Lock his ass up."
Yeah, but then the tribes will rebel against him, though, man, because they know he has a right to challenge.
Right. I mean, but he wouldn't have the right to
Yeah, but
challenge
at the
until
same
somebody asked
day,
him his name.
at the same day, like, everybody that was in there was like, "You late. You missed challenge day." So he didn't have to do that.
I like that. He's like, you missed challenge day. You don't get to. There will be no challenge today.
No, I thought the whole premise of the challenge thing was his first challenge was at sunrise, and his last challenge when he
No, the challenge is
suns.
supposedly the if anybody contests him being the king, he contested, so he has a right to challenge.
He had the right to challenge, but they still could have overruled it because they actually have a specific date.
they do. Yeah. I
He
was saying,
wasn't there though. No, I'm saying,
Yeah,
how would he have known about that date? They casted his family out, man. He found his dad with a set of Panther claws in his chest.
Exactly. His family got casted out. So
And think about it, all the elders right there was like, "Wow, that's foul." It's like, this
It
dude's
is
dad
foul.
went
I
and
mean,
killed his own
treat
brother.
like that. They did treat
it
him like
is
that.
all foul, but they didn't have to.
Yeah, see what the thing with
Yeah, but if T'Challa wouldn't have done it, he would have had the elders go up against him, man, because they would have thought that was foul. Especially
All
what
of
his
them was
dad
telling
did.
them not to do it.
There will be no challenge today.
That's the way they would say it too.
Yeah, but you know, hey, his pride was like, "Oh, you really want these hands?" Then when he found out that Michael B. Jordan really had them hands, I bet you wish he
Yeah,
did.
bro.
Hey man, I'm
He
telling you,
didn't
bro,
take it.
he did not take it.
If he would have known, he probably would have not taken the challenge. But he probably thought he could take him. He was like, "All right,
No,
I'm gonna fuck your ass up." All right.
No, the thing about it was that T'Challa didn't want to kill him. He didn't want to do anything excessive. That's not what Killmonger-
exactly. That's what it was.
That's
Killmonger was willing to do anything.
That was the
Infinite
thing that I didn't. That was the one thing that I didn't like about that movie, because the Black Panther from the comic book didn't hesitate to kill.
No, he won't. Yeah, he's not afraid to kill, but he won't do it outright if he has a chance for certain aspects. And that there has been times where he's been conflicted on that. But the thing is, he will kill if he's pushed to it. But in that one, they showed that he didn't want to because he knows the truth.
Just
If
like
he
old dude from
didn't-
Civil War.
Yeah.
He was
He
going to kill him
didn't-
at the beginning. We all know he was going to kill him. But when
He
he
didn't
found
really
out
change his
what was the
ways
actual
until he
plot, he
started
was like,
talking to
nah, I'm
Captain
not going to
America
do your
about
work
killing.
for you.
Because he was killing all of his enemies in Africa before he started dealing with Captain America.
He never killed Man-Ape.
No, that was different though.
That's different. Do realize like all them tribes are actually related.
Yeah, but still, I mean, Umbaku.
I'm just saying though, would you if your cousin piss you off and y'all get in a fight, you gonna go kill him?
If he was coming to kill me, yeah.
Yeah, but they weren't gonna kill each other unless they
Hey, look,
absolutely had
we've
to.
seen it happen, man. That's what happened. What's what caused World
I'm
War
asking
I.
you about you. Would you do that? Most normal people wouldn't just go out and kill their cousin just because they lost a fight.
Nah, but you fight him again till you won.
All right, you can
Yeah,
fight him
you can
again
fight.
until you win. But why would you just flat out go? I'm gonna kill my cousin because he beat me up.
No, but that's what I'm saying is that he wasn't trying to kill him.
Right, that's why I say. That's why he kept saying tap out. Your tribe needs you, man. You got to tap out. I mean, then they got a code of honor where it's not you're not gonna try to kill a person, but you got to keep fighting. And if the
It's
person
like the
dies,
T'Challa portrayed in the movies. He's not one that takes life needlessly. All right, because as we saw at the end of Civil War, he let old dude live, Baron Zemo.
Yep.
Right, he could have killed him. You know what I'm saying? But once he found out that Baron Zemo's plot was to pit the Avengers against each other, he was like, "Wow, know what I'm saying?" And I was over here ready to take out, Bucky, the Winter Soldier, and whatnot, thinking that he was the one responsible. And it was actually this dude instigating the fight between these two factions.
Yep.
Know what I'm saying? So T'Challa was like, "You know what? I'm gonna take you to jail because that's even worse for you." Know what I'm saying? Taking your life is too much, too easy. Now the thing with Killmonger and whatnot, he went the same route. We saw it at the beginning of Black Panther. He could have fucking snapped M'Baku's neck in the beginning. He could have, but he ain't think he should take somebody's life needlessly.
Yep.
Right? He's actually taking a higher path, which I actually admire more.
Yeah.
Than the actual, than the character that you're explaining to me about the comic was the way he would kill dudes and whatnot. That's I mean, I understand why he would do it. You know what I'm saying? But he, like Bloody brought up, the man was conflicted about the things. You know what I'm saying? And we're actually seeing a Black Panther that's actually, trying to walk that upper path and whatnot.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
dope,
Like the
man.
Black Panther actually got that way. You know what I'm saying? Far as walking that upper path farther along in the comics, but he didn't start off like that. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, no doubt, no doubt. But we're talking the movies right here. You know what I'm saying? So basically, the Black Panther we seen in the movies is following suit from what we saw in Civil War.
Right. You know what I'm saying? There's a more humane Black Panther.
But we saw that. But we saw that he'll still kill, but he has to be pushed to that point. He doesn't want to because we saw him, kill. He killed Killmonger because he knew that at that point during the final.
Hey, I'm gonna
fight,
be honest with you. I don't think that dude dead.
I mean,
Yeah, he looked dead to me, bro. Especially the way he died at the end and he just fell down.
He's dead. I don't think he's dead because he didn't fall off that cliff. They didn't bury him. Plus, he took that heart-shaped herb, which it increased your healing. We don't know if he took that sword out of they didn't show
He
anything.
bled out, bro. He pulled the shit out his own chest, man. The minute you have a wound like that, even doctors tell you don't pull it out.
And then on
pull
top
it out,
of this,
you're gonna bleed out.
On top of this,
I mean, that
ain't necessarily
but
true.
you heard what he said. He wanted.
No, it is true. You saw the size of that blade, man. If you take that blade out, a regular person gets impaled like that. The last thing you want to do is remove the blade.
You never want to.
You would have to get them to a hospital, so like that they could try to control the bleeding. Not a guarantee that the person will live, but to try to control the bleeding because he's gonna bleed out.
But I took a grenade. I took shrapnel to 2 inches from my heart. I pulled it out, and I'm still alive.
Yeah, but you're talking shrapnel. Shrapnel wasn't the side of that blade.
Or was it by your heart?
2 inches from my heart.
Okay, he got stabbed in the heart. That's what I'm saying. Is I get where you're coming from, and I know what you're saying because my dad was crushed. He had his ribs stabbed through his heart and his lungs. I understand the damage that you're talking about, but you do not just rip it out and be able to live. That has to be carefully done.
And the size of that blade was bigger than the shrapnel, bro.
Hey, and Killmonger,
And that's
It
not,
depends,
that's
though.
not the
Hey,
down.
think about
That's
this.
not
This
the
is a
down.
Marvel
let me
movie.
That's not
explain
the
it.
downplay anything that you're talking
I'm
about.
going to fully explain this. When you take a grenade, shrapnel in the chest, the shrapnel from the grenade is not what goes in your body. The Kevlar that's supposed to protect you is going in your body, and that's way bigger than that blade.
So you had an entire Kevlar vest go in your chest.
Half of a Kevlar vest went into my chest, and I have the scars to prove it. So yes, it is very possible to live from that, unless it's a sucking chest wound. That means it went out your back.
Yeah, but he's dead though.
Hey,
And then on top of this, in all
Killmonger might not be
Marvel,
dead.
every time Marvel write a Black Panther, anything, he always comes back.
Oh,
So
there's
Kim,
definitely a way he could come back. I mean, the Soul Stone, if anything. But that's the only way I see him coming back.
Simons brought him back
I mean, right now with the Infinity War
when
tie-in, they just
when
that Red Skull
they
went
thought
out.
T'Challa was dead. They brought him back, and he took over as Black Panther.
but the same thing remains. He will be back if it's a big enough outright for like people be like, we want some more Killmonger. Then he will be back. All right, that's how I look at that. But anyway, that's enough of this Killmonger stuff. Everybody and their mama have been on Black Panther for the last week and a half, and the movies are still sold out. But y'all ready to get up off this thing? You know what I'm saying? Continue this party next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, don't forget our outro.
All right, well, everybody, it was fun. Next time, tune in to the same Heroic Vibrations YouTube channel at the same Heroic Vibration time frame, yo.
And we out this thing.
We out.